6:04, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, off and running. Brian here with you, Bree Lynn producing. We are getting you ready for Super Bowl weekend right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Starting you off at 45 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge as we broadcast live from the 180 Pros studio. 180 Pros, not your IT provider, your IT partner. Oh, important clarification right there. Your business IT partner. Ooh, by the way. We got a busy show for you this morning. Going to talk to, I got a number of different conversations. It's actually kind of all over the map. Quiton Taylor is the chancellor of River Parishes Community College. He's going to join us at 7:15 this morning. Big groundbreaking today. Governor Jeff Landry was on with us yesterday, talked about it. We'll actually play back a little bit of that audio later this hour from the governor. But Quiton Taylor is kind of the man on the scene right now, kind of front and center. Really looking forward to this conversation, not just for what we're talking about today, but for where our workforce is headed overall. Like I said, looking forward to that. Also, we'll speak with the folks from the Pennington Biomedical Research Center. Neurojust is stopping by, and so is Matherine's. Oh, yeah, king cake season rolls on. We will have a couple king cakes from Matherine's up in the studio for Foodie Friday before it's all said and done. However, we start off with top stories and trending. Starts us off with a follow-up story from a story yesterday. Yesterday, we talked about in our top stories and trending that the East Feliciana School District is moving to a 4-day week. Well, this morning, our news partners at WBRZ reporting parents say they were blindsided when their local school board changed the school week from 5 days to 4. On Tuesday, the school district suddenly changed the calendar with little notice. Numerous residents spoke with our news partners over at WBRZ, said, well, that's I got to find the right quote here. You know what? I'm not going to read the whole story. Anyway, this is happening very, very quickly. It won't actually take place until the follow-up school year. Parents just wanted some more heads up. It's official. Former New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Signed by the Saints back in 06, won a Super Bowl in 09, technically 10, named the MVP of that Super Bowl. Brees holds the record for completion percentage in a season after completing 74.4% of his passes in 2018. Also second all-time in pass completions at 10,551, passing touchdowns at 571, and passing yards at 80,358. Metro Council member Dwight Hudson submitted a measure to remove Councilman Cleve Dunn from his role on the Greater Baton Rouge Airport Commission following Dunn's money laundering and bribery indictments. The measure is being filed due to a, quote, alleged breach of fiduciary duty based on documentation from a felony indictment, Hudson said. The governor of California dropped a big GFY on AG Liz Merle on Twitter. Only thing is, he didn't abbreviate it. Yes, the governor of California told our AG GFY. If you don't know what that stands for, the FCC does not allow me to tell you. The profane tweet was Gavin Newsom's response to Merle's lawsuit over trying to extradite a doctor who sent abortion drugs to a Louisiana girl. New Roads police officer was arrested for selling oxycodone pills to a confidential informant for the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office. Sheriff's Office said the CI told deputies they had bought both oxycodone and Xanax from 44-year-old Quincy Lathers, a New Roads police officer who lives in Denham Springs. They said the deal happened while Lathers was wearing a New Roads Police Department uniform.
You got all the stories today.
I just, the level of boldness to buy drugs from a cop who's dressed as the cop that he is. Like, how do you do?
And then the whole Gavin Newsom, I saw that because I was at Texas Club last night doing the country shows or whatever, and I saw it come through.
Yeah.
I said, what the hell? Gavin Newsom's unhinged.
Completely unhinged. And by the way, Liz Merle's response could not have been better. Dropped a bless your heart on him.
Right.
She dropped the bless your
Southern,
heart. Yeah.
Our way of saying, you know what? Yeah. All right. Cameron Guthrie, the brother of today's show host, co-host Savannah Guthrie, has issued a second video on behalf of the family urging for communication and proof of life for their mother, Nancy Guthrie.
I'm hearing way too many conspiracy theories now, up to and including Savannah Guthrie's video message the other day quoted Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. And look, yesterday I did a whole rabbit hole conspiracy, but now I've heard it all. I've heard like it's starting to turn into like InfoWars with, you know what I mean?
Right. But like something with the husband, something with the Epstein files are in here somewhere.
Yeah.
We
just need to find her.
We have a tendency to do this as a people. Okay. We have a tendency as a people to make other people's tragedy our entertainment in real time.
I know.
If this were a Netflix documentary a year later, that would be one thing. But like this is actually happening right now.
While she's still missing.
Right. While people are suffering.
Right.
We do it. And like, I'm going to go down the same rabbit hole too. I am just as guilty. I'm as big of a hypocrite as everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm just as guilty as everybody else. But we make other people's tragedy our entertainment.
Man, it might be on your news side, but it's also trending. Drew Brees has announced as a Hall of Famer. Along with Drew, this year's class includes Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and Roger Craig.
Gotta love that. That's some good company to be in. Fitzgerald, I believe, is the other first ballot Hall of Famer there. Roger Craig's obviously a little bit older. Vinatieri, he may have been up before. And I'm not sure about Kuechly either. Kuechly's recent, but yeah, decent Hall class right there.
Drew Brees was on Good Morning America yesterday. Yes. Mm-hmm. And Robin Roberts said something. She was in the ear of Drew, and she says, before we go to break, can I say something to Drew real fast? And she goes, on behalf of the Who Dat Nation. And then he kind of chuckles. He loves it. Yeah. Okay. The Winter Olympics officially begin in Italy today. Carrying the flag for the United States will be bobsledder Frank Del Duca and speed skater Aaron Jackson.
I don't know them.
I don't know. I don't know either.
This is the part I don't like about the Winter Olympics. The Summer Olympics, the track events are full of LSU people. Yep. Like the basketball, we all know, like most of the basketball team and whatnot. Beach volleyball, we got the LSU girls in that one.
Yep.
Like, we recognize so many more people in the Summer Olympics than we do the Winter Olympics.
You know what I'm going to say? What? Lindsey Vonn. She was practicing for skiing. Lord help me. And obviously hurt herself. And props to her. I believe she's 40 years old. And she's like, look, I made it this far. If my ankle falls off, okay. But she's still going to compete this year.
Yeah.
If I was Lindsey, I would too. I would suffer through it.
That's one name.
Right.
And you're not going to get anybody from Louisiana in the Winter Olympics.
Right. Well, I would hope not. We're not built for that.
Jamaicans weren't built for bobsled.
But they still did it.
So, 612 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Before we take our first break, let me remind you about the folks over at Landmark Bank, landmarkbankla.com. Founded in 1897 as a community bank. And it's important that they remain a community bank. They've remained true to their mission this entire time. If you go to landmarkbankla.com, as I'm doing right now, I'm going to tell you what communities they're in. I'm going to head over that little About Us tab, find the locations and hours to click on. They're in Clinton. They're in Greensburg. They're in Zachary. They're in Denham Springs. And now they're in, I say now, it's a couple of years in, they're in Bruley on the west side. Actually, technically, their address is Port Allen, but it's their Bruley office. If you are in these communities, can't stress enough the level of importance of dealing with a community banker, someone that you see across the restaurant, at your local, in a local restaurant, someone you see in line at the grocery store, someone you see in line at carpool, someone who is a member of the same community as you are. You have a shared understanding of where you want to go in life when it comes to borrowing, when it comes to lending, when it comes to investing. On the business side, don't even need to tell you, because everyone who's owned a business since before COVID knows the difference that it makes to have a banker at your side and not just a big old bank. Learn more at landmarkbankla.com. Landmarkbankla.com. Really wish I had room for Dwight Hudson today. Metro Councilman. Do what? It was just the news. No, it's in the folder.
Okay,
Yeah, I had Musso pull it yesterday. Holler when I'm 10 seconds back, please.
That's true, Troy. I couldn't remember what injury she had. It was something with the leg. I knew that. But props to her. Because my thing is, I want to say I believe she's 40. So you make it to the Olympics, I would suffer through it too. We got like 7 seconds.
Six 17, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. It is sports time. All right, let's go ahead and start with, I believe it was Rich Eisen last night on NBC as the big announcement was made.
It is now time to meet the 2026 class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
An Iron Man with soft hands, this career Cardinal racked up the second most receiving yards all time. My man, Larry Fitzgerald.
7 Pro Bowls and 5 All-Pro teams in just 8 years. This electric linebacker played his way into the company of legends. Ladies and gentlemen, Pro Football Hall of Famer Luke Kuechly.
No one has scored more points or kicked more field goals. 24 seasons, 4 rings, one at my expense, and now 1 bust in the halls of Canton. Adam Vinatieri.
Oh, yes. He's the first player to ever rack up 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving in the same season. A 3-time Super Bowl champ. We've been waiting to hear his name called to Canton for a long time, and it happens in San Francisco. 49ers legend, Hall of Famer Roger Craig.
20 seasons, 13 Pro Bowls, and the second most passing yards, completions, and touchdowns in NFL history. One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, Hall of Famer Drew Brees.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I forgot about it. Was Roger Craig.
Ooh, I got
back,
chills.
Roger Craig taking you back to the 49ers of the 80s. How ridiculously awesome he was back then. And hearing the shout out to one of the greatest of all time coming from
The greatest.
Yeah, I know. The only difference between the two of them is Breeze's arm gave out at the end, and Brady had a few more rings. But when you talk about consistency, when you talk about performance, Breeze was skillfully better.
And if he could have kept going, he would have.
Yeah, I agree. That was the only thing that separated him. We got to get out for the Fox Business Report. Here you go.
Okay. Y'all bear with Brian. He has not been feeling well. He has the crud from DC, and he's been struggling this week, y'all. Lord. Brain fog. Very congested. I told him to go get a shot, but he don't listen. Brian.
This is way too disjointed. All right, let's head on back to the traffic center. Talk 107.3 traffic center real quick. Actually, we're looking pretty good on the interstates right now. As far as delays are concerned, we do have a couple of incidents to mention. Or no, we don't. No, we don't. Let me start back over again. I hit refresh on the screen and we're good. I-12 westbound coming in from Livingston Parish looks better than it normally does at this time. I-10 westbound coming from Ascension Parish, also good, as is 10 eastbound coming back across from West Baton Rouge Parish. Now, the incident report that I normally am able to look at, it looks like it got stuck yesterday. So if there are traffic accidents out there, they're not causing any major delays. So hopefully a quiet morning can stay that way. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. .623 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We got Tony Matherine coming in from Matherine's for Foodie Friday this morning. Gonna be talking a little king cake. Probably gonna be eating a little king cake. Looking forward to that. Love the folks over at Matherine's. All three locations have kind of their groove, their vibe, right? If you're downtown, you already know what a great stop off it is for lunch, and you also know if you live downtown, they are a full service grocery store, which is awesome. I'll add to that saying parades this weekend, y'all. Parades this weekend means if you're out on the route, hey, Matherine's has got you covered for anything you may have forgotten this weekend or next weekend as we get through carnival season. They're just one block off the parade route. Then you move over to campus. Baseball season cranking up next weekend. Be about time to start tailgating pretty soon. Well, Matherine's has got you covered there. Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center, directly across the street from Tiger Stadium. They are the closest grocery store to Alec Box Stadium or Tiger Park. So they've got you covered there. Meanwhile, as carnival season rolls on, your King Cake headquarters is Matherine's at Kenilworth. By the way, download the rewards app. Save yourself some, or earn yourself cash towards more groceries every time you shop at Matherine's. All right, LSU women took it on the chin last night. It was a really, really good game until it really, really wasn't. Man, God, just the slightest difference. The second quarter, the fourth quarter, those were the two differentiators last night. LSU actually was leading Texas 17-13 at the end of the first quarter, and then Texas put it up a 27-point second quarter, and that was a little bit of separation there. Deadlocked at 17 apiece in the third quarter, and then it just got away in the fourth quarter. The crowd was hyped. Texas had a lot of shots that should not have gone in that went in, and conversely, LSU went a little bit cold at the basket. 77-64, your final score. LSU falls to the Texas Longhorns in their house in the rematch, 77-64. So for LSU, the gauntlet that is SEC women's basketball will continue as they come back. I believe they're back home on Sunday. Yes. No, they continue on the road. Sorry. On the road, they're going to be at Auburn on Sunday. 1 o'clock tip-off. You will hear that right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Then you got to fast forward to the 14th, the following Saturday. LSU will be home versus number 3 South Carolina, taking on number 3 South Carolina in the Maravich Assembly Center. ESPN College Game Day will be there. That environment will be lit. I cannot believe how hyped that is going to be. It'll be awesome. So that is Valentine's Day for LSU versus number 3 South Carolina. Want to pivot real quick. Do I have time to do this? Yeah, we do. All right. Super Bowl is this weekend. Don't even need to tell you that. It'll be both on our sister station, 104.5 ESPN, and right here on Talk 107.3 FM. In fact, Sunday, LSU Auburn is at 1, and then we'll pick up Super Bowl coverage at 4. So we're stacked for you with everything you're going to be paying attention to on Sunday. Matt Moscona from After Further Review over on our sister station 104.5. He is in California. He is in the thick of it. Interestingly enough, posted up in a place called the Moscone Center. Close.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
It was made to be.
Yeah. So Radio Row for the Super Bowl. We all got to learn last year how unbelievable that was. Our whole crew from 104.5 when the Super Bowl was in New Orleans, our whole crew from 104.5 was out there. And I'm telling y'all, all week long last year when the Super Bowl was in New Orleans, after this show was over, I was booking it down there just to be around the action, be in it, grab a little content wherever I could, visit the Louisiana Department of Economic Development's Louisiana Now Pavilion, which was awesome and a trendsetter. So because of the overwhelming amount of content and just unbelievable atmosphere that comes with being on Radio Row, our sister station 104.5 said, hey, we need to be on this every year. So Moscona's up there, right? And he's grabbing interviews left and right. If you miss any of them, follow all of 104.5's social media. You'll get, replays and video and whatnot. But I want to tap into one. Saints kicker Charlie Smyth was on with Moscona yesterday. Now, for those that don't know, Charlie Smyth is Irish. So along with all the football talk, there's, of course, talk of playing in Paris. That was good stuff as well. But I really wanted to get into the culture differences. When a new player or a new coach comes to Louisiana from, say, Indiana or New York or something, we always ask about the different culture differences. How, over the top is it when it comes from someone from Ireland?
What is still weird about New Orleans for you?
What's still weird? What's still weird? I think the variations in accents from different parts of Louisiana. Like Ireland's very much the same. There's different accents all over the place, but like our priest who says mass on Saturday nights, I can't understand him at all. Like,
what parish is it?
No, he just comes into the Saints building. I think it's Father Tony. I'm like, I don't know what he's saying here.
What's Father Tony? What? Just Father Tony. We'll figure it out.
I think that's his name. I'm pretty sure that's his name.
It's all right.
But then like, you hear from Southern Louisiana and they're like, it's proper. It's like, okay, now I know how people feel when they listen to me. So yeah. So that's probably the biggest thing. And then the food culture, like we are very much potatoes with meat.
Yeah.
And
potatoes
over here it's very much rice
yes.
with beef and and fish, and it's like, okay, rice doesn't really go with this, but
Yeah, it does, Charlie.
it does. You
Yeah,
know
it
what I mean?
does.
And no, I love like the likes of the jambalaya and it's and the beignets, and I'm working on the crawfish. Didn't grow up eating seafood, but I'm working on it, and I'm trying new dishes and whatever. But those would be my two. Probably the jambalaya is probably my favorite so far. The rice jambalaya.
What's your favorite? Like, what have you enjoyed about living in New Orleans?
The people, like everybody. Saints is the main thing. It's mad how much of a difference. We're kind of in a bubble playing football, but you can just feel it in the city how much of a difference it is whenever we're a winner. And whenever we're winning games second half of the season, everybody's, mood is uplifted. And that just shows how much the Saints means to the city. It's the biggest market in the city. And I don't think it's like that everywhere else. And, it just shows how passionate the fans are about the team. And obviously the weather is it's nice in the winter time as well. It's warm, so that helps. And there's always, some great golf courses around here too and stuff.
Sure.
But we've got a nice visitor here.
He's classic. I love him.
Brian, you want to go cut up your Landry cuts? Do you want to cut up your Landry cuts? Oh, okay. Okay. You still got time? Okay.
And if I have to run the segment all the way up to 50, that's fine.
Okay.
Whew. Timed out.
I know, in real time over there.
Oh.
A week from. What about tornadoes, Balin?
Yeah, we're all going to die. Oh. 637 to Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Going to be a great weekend, y'all. It's going to be an absolute great weekend. We got Super Bowl Sunday coming up on Sunday. But before that, before we go into the weekend, there's going to be a groundbreaking today out in Donaldsonville for a new training facility for the Hyundai steel plant that's coming to town. Quiton Taylor, the chancellor of RPCC, River Parishes Community College, he's going to join us at 7:15 to talk about what goes into the training facility, who they're looking for to attend, to learn, to get certified for whatever they need to get, whatever training they need. We'll break all that down. And also, I want to talk with Quentin a little bit about future plans as well. What are you doing to spin this into making RPCC just bigger and better across the board? So that's all coming today. We'll break down a little bit more about the groundbreaking in a little bit. Yesterday, I got the chance to talk to Governor Jeff Landry. And I wanted to talk to him about today's groundbreaking, yes, but in a different sense. We got to rewind the clock back to last week. Every year at Washington Mardi Gras, you start to get the sense of what's coming in the next legislative session. You get a really good idea of what's coming in the next legislative session. And the governor made a big announcement. LSU made a big announcement. Susan Bourgeois made a big announcement. And the vibe up at this Washington Mardi Gras was all about workforce a lot more than it was about politics. It was about workforce a lot more than it was about individual issues. It seemed a whole lot more combined, a whole lot more together. So what was the big announcement the governor made? I got him to recap that. And look, some of these sound bites are a little bit longer because this is just full on from interview format yesterday. I'm not trying to pull little 10-second sound bites here. I want to let him, share his thought in full. What was the big announcement from Washington Mardi Gras? Cut one, please.
Well, first of all, our announcement last week was an executive order to modernize Louisiana's workforce system for this new era of growth. And what it does is it shifts dollars from bureaucracy to actually training. It gives us the ability to respond faster to what employers demand in work skills. It prioritizes credentials that lead to real jobs and real wages. Again, part of the problem we've had is that we haven't been able to match the skills with the jobs, or we just haven't had the jobs.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like trying to put the cart before the horse. And one of the things that I saw, Brian, which was really disappointing and it left an imprint on me, was in the 90s when I was an economic development director, and we had just landed a Baker Hughes consolidation in oil and gas in Broussard, and we won. We were like, oh, yeah, we were fist pumping. We're like, this is great, high five. And then NAFTA basically was passed, and it destroyed the textile industry across many of the rural small towns in Louisiana. Basically, they unbolted all of those textile machines and sent them to Latin America, supposedly to create stability in Latin America, only to find out that those millions of people ended up coming across the border illegally. You see the mess we ended up with. And so we're not able to do when those kind of shocks occurred in our economy was to be able to match skills with work that was available, with jobs that were available. Today, we're in this unbelievable growth phase. We've got over 124,000 new job opportunities. And the thing that keeps me up at night is making sure that we can fill them all.
That's a problem. Excuse me. It's a problem that's twofold when you think about it is, do we have the skilled workforce and or where does the skilled workforce come from? And what is the better answer for Louisiana? Is the better answer to make sure that our current workforce gets trained up, gets to learn, gets to, to fill the roles? Or what about the other possibility of people moving to Louisiana from other states? I think the answer is somewhere in between the two. The governor continued talking about what the goals and plans are, and aside from just that announcement, but broadening out to not just Hyundai, but the whole economic scope. Like, where are we headed? Cut 2, please.
Well, what we do, the one thing we do is we centralize the entire workforce system.
I'm sorry, stop. I set that up wrong. My apologies. When we talk about the whole getting away from Hyundai to the overall picture, the big picture, the part that I left on the setup was we see different regions of Louisiana, different areas of Louisiana seem to excel at different things. For example, Southwest Louisiana, that's your home for LNG, right? Liquefied natural gas, going to be there, right? Everybody across the state can do multiple things, but how do we make sure that everyone is trained up and we don't pigeonhole ourselves into only one region can do this?
Well, what we do, the one thing we do is we centralize the entire workforce system. Right now, it's very fragmented. It's built upon a federal structure that kind of did exactly what you were saying, kind of regionalized it, but then they became over bureaucratized. And so actually there was a resolution by the Senate, the state Senate, the Louisiana State Senate, to ask the federal government to give us the ability to centralize this. None of that ever happened. Trump came in. He actually signed an executive order saying if states ask for it, we'll give it to them. And so this executive order orders that, and it causes us to be able to centralize it so that then we can look across the state and say, okay, where are the jobs? What are the skills needed for those particular jobs? And make sure that we push the education to those regions based upon the skill needed. Does that make sense? It's a lot, but there's a lot going on.
So while we're not looking to regionally pigeonhole people, what the governor wants to do is centralize the whole thing so that you can redistribute back out and say Monroe needs this, Shreveport needs this, Lake Charles needs this, Baton Rouge needs this. Like, you're able to pivot on the fly, if you will. I did ask the governor with the announcements that have been coming down recently or over the course of the last year and whatnot. Here in Louisiana, we've been burned on economic development deals in the past. Not necessarily on his watch, not even on the previous governor's watch, really, but we've been burned on deals in the past where we're given huge promises on one end and the delivery comes up short. We get overpromised and under-delivered, or even worse than that, there are times where the delivery just fails from top to bottom. I asked him, and I believe this is cut 3. I hope I have this one right, or we've been moving fast this morning. I asked him, where's the follow-through to make sure we don't get burned again?
Well, here's why. We move at the speed of business. In fact, I've heard from so many CEOs that they're like, we come to Louisiana and the team that y'all put together, Susan Bourgeois and the people that she surrounded herself with over there, and Susie Schoen over at Workforce, move at the speed of business. And those corporate executives tell me that. They're like, we've never come into a state under which they respond so fast. And if we feel like there's a project that's in trouble, we bring the executives into the mansion. We sit down with them. We bring the players at the table and say, okay, how do we take this from the 20-yard line to the 10-yard line to the goal line and then to score? And so far it's been a recipe for success.
I mean, knock that soundbite down to 3 words. control the controllables. And I'm having trouble containing my excitement over where this positivity can head. But control the controllables. What we've seen in the past is making promises that the state making promises that they have no control over whether they can deliver it or not. And we've seen it with different deals in the past that have just fallen through because of market fluctuations that are out of our control. Our meaning Louisiana's control. You heard him talk about the example he gave from Broussard. That's a great example. We've seen everything from, chicken plants to energy companies to you name it have rolled through and have come up short from time to time. What the governor talked about right there, control between him and Susie Showen and Susan Bourgeois, control the controllables. There's only so much that you're actually capable of. So not over-promising is going to be a big part of this because you need to be able to deliver. Meanwhile, like I said, Washington Mardi Gras, for me at least, sets the tone for what's coming in the legislative session. Like I have three preseason games, right? If the legislative session is the regular season, I have 3 preseason games: Washington Mardi Gras, LABI's annual meeting, Pelican Institute Solution Summit. Between those 3, I'm ready for session. I know what's coming, and I know where we're headed. So the big the big workforce announcement that he made. What is this going to look like legislatively? How is this going to turn into legislation? The governor had one answer, but I'm going to follow it up with something else. Cut 4.
That's what we're trying to sort through right now. In fact, we may be able to do this simply by executive order and a waiver from the federal government, which we are anticipating. And I think that those 2 things, once they happen and it settles out, will determine whether or not we have to adjust the statutes or the laws. But I'll tell you something else that's missing too. Look, we appointed Richard Nelson to head the Louisiana Community and Technical School System, which I think is a great thing. He's going to do a phenomenal job. Him and Susie are working side by side. He's also working in conjunction with our 4-year universities, so that again, no one is duplicating. Right? We're not going out there looking for the same people are trying to compete against them. We all want to operate as one team, making sure that we match the jobs with the workforce.
I would follow up with that by saying, sure, they might be able. He said, we're sifting through that right now. We're going to find out what we can do via executive order. I don't think he needs to do anything with just executive order. You're going to find this session a legislature that wants to get on board because they're going to want their districts to be a part of this. And the part about Richard Nelson and LCTCS with Louisiana Community Technical College System, that right there, having a former legislator who was then heading up Department of Revenue, who now goes over to LCTCS, you have a man in that position who is going to be able to go in front of the legislature and say, this is the money I need, these are the resources I need, this is the flexibility I need, this is the autonomy I need, to where the community technical college system can move at the same speed of business as everybody else who's in this equation. One more, we're going to wrap it up by talking about that groundbreaking that's today. Cut 5.
Again, what we're going to do is we're going to have the Hyundai execs all the way from South Korea into Louisiana, going to be down in Donaldsonville for the opening of the 50,000 square foot, $30 million training center. Again, it's the River Parishes Community College. And what they did was they partnered with Hyundai so that they can send their folks to the Hyundai training, so that Hyundai can send their folks to that training facility to ensure that those people are trained to the skills that Hyundai needs as they move from phase to phase and getting ready to open that steel mill. So from construction to beginning to start it up, then to operation. Like at each one of those phases, what are the skills that we need and how are we matching those skills with the job opportunities that are out there?
Going to be a big day. We'll talk with Quentin Taylor a little bit coming up at 7:15 since he heads up River Parishes Community College. We got Your Money Now coming your way in just a quick second. On the back end of the break, we'll check Your Money Now and we'll check traffic. On the back end of the break, let's talk about the Senate race. You heard that news story from our news partners in the Louisiana Radio Network. Kind of recap that coming up next.
It's amazing what AI did.
By the way, good morning, Christy. Welcome in, Boo. I assume she's listening or still listening. I haven't even opened up Facebook Live yet. It has been that kind of morning. Hey, why is it when you have a sinus problem, it can move from like one nostril to the other and back? Is it like last night? Like I could not, the right nostril felt like it was just done for. This morning it's coming to the left side.
And then you ever had it to where like it moves over? Like
That's what I just said. You know,
I know, but it hurts, but it feels relief too. Like it.
I don't have the relief yet.
Oh God.
By the way, can we go back to the Grammys for a second? Talk about she's watching the thing with Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's comment versus Billie Eilish's comment.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny, all he said was like he wanted good things for his people.
Right.
And Billie Eilish was like shit on America.
Yeah, she full blown
between
stolen
the
land.
two, what Bad Bunny had to say was not negative towards America. He said ice out. I get that. But that's not bad. Like that's
and they're coming down on that poor man.
I know.
Come on.
What Billie Eilish had to say was 50 times worse. Which, by the way, did you see where the Tonga tribe had come out and said, you know what?
Yeah.
You are living on stolen land, Billie Eilish. We would like it back. Your mansion in California belongs to us.
Yeah, give it back.
Ha ha! Suck it. Trombone.
And then you got trombone Shardy over here. Turning Point USA's Kid Rock for the All-American halftime show. Come on now.
What?
You didn't hear about that? Come
No.
on. I know you know about it. The All-American halftime show.
Okay.
Turning Point USA is doing their own. It's Kid Rock. Hang on. Kid Rock. Brantley Gilbert.
Let's talk about this at 7:55.
Okay.
I don't know about it, and I'm going to be disgusted by it.
All right, let's go. Let me see if I can pull up a clip. Hang on.
Cool.
We don't have to play the whole cut. It's like 46 seconds, but they get to the meat of it quickly. Bad Bunny. I want a good bunny.
Cute and fuzzy bunny.
Yeah.
From One Crazy Summer.
Troy, no lie. And I don't know what it is. NyQuil don't do it. Benadryl don't do it. But when I have a cold coming down, and it has to be the fizzy, and it can't be generic. Alka-Seltzer, cold and flu. It can't be the Walgreens brand. It has to be
Really?
Alka-Seltzer PM. I wake up feeling great in the morning.
Awesome.
It will clear you up. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me.
For me, it's Mucinex or Sudafed. Like the real Sudafed. Not the store Sudafed. Like, not the store Sudafed. Not the, it has to be the full-on Walter White Sudafed. Yeah. 6:55, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Got the groundbreaking coming up in Donaldsonville today for the Hyundai Steel plant. You know what? Actually, this is an appropriate time for me to remind you about the folks over at Industry Makes, Louisiana's manufacturing sector and the businesses that support it. Can't stand aside and let others tell their story. That's where Industry Makes hops in. Hit up industrymakes.org, industrymakes.org. It's an initiative to be a trusted source of industrial communications and an advocate for the stories being told about Louisiana, an advocate for those who are creating jobs, those who are creating products, those who are creating everything we use in our daily lives. Learn more at industrymakes.org. Let others make noise. We'll make everything else. All right, we got a Senate race on our hands, and we got a countdown going. I believe it's 99 days as of today before elections for both Senate and the congressional 5th district as well. Qualifying for federal elections is going to take place next week. Two interesting races that you heard about in our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network. We got the Senate race and we got the District 5 race. Bill Cassidy is the incumbent. He could be looking at three well-known challengers, Republican U.S. Senate in the primary. That would be John Fleming, Julia Letlow, and Eric Scrimetta. LaPolitics.com, LaPolitics publisher Jeremy Alford says, President Trump's endorsement of Letlow is going to help a lot with fundraising. Cut 10, please.
From small dollar donations across the country to potentially other political action committees getting involved. Already we saw the MAHA PAC, that's Make America Healthy Again, has committed $1 million to Julia Letlow.
That's a big number. That is a big number, but she's got a lot of ground to make up. Now, make no mistake about it, she can hustle. She can absolutely hustle to get out there. Same thing for Senator Cassidy, though. Well, if y'all had seen him on his wheels at Washington Mardi Gras, if I'm not mistaken, the number came in from Washington Mardi Gras at $1.4 million raised. That's incredible. So the primary for the 5th Congressional District is also going to be on that same ballot. Candidates looking to replace Julia Letlow, who can only be on one ballot at a time. If she's running for Senate, she can't run for Congress. We're looking at State Senator Blake Miguez is running, even though he doesn't live in the 5th District. This is going to be a big talking point for a little while before it's not. Jeremy Alford says when it comes to someone running living out of their district, we've seen it before. Cut 11.
Remember, former Governor Bobby Jindal served in Congress before moving into the governor's mansion, and he was a Baton Rouge politician who ran for Congress in a Jefferson Parish anchored House district.
I thought he had picked up a residence over there. I could be wrong about that. That was a long time ago. But that's right, though. Is you don't have to live in the district is the long and the short of it. But, man, I tell you what, when you look at, what are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 different area codes for phone numbers in Louisiana. And there's only 2 area codes that aren't in the 5th Congressional District. Blake Miguez's phone number is one of those 2. I mean, ERATH is nowhere close. We're going to talk with Blake Miguez on Tuesday, 7:15. That's going to be a topic of conversation and a whole lot more. By the way, Miguez picked up President Trump's endorsement, which should go a long way as well. Alfred says it remains to be seen if that endorsement of President Trump, if the endorsement of the president trumps the issue of an Acadiana lawmaker representing a district that's based in the Northeast.
It certainly helps that Blake Miguez has President Trump in his corner to kind of quiet some of that chatter.
Yeah, I suppose. I look at this race and you see Dixon McMakin from right here in Baton Rouge. When it comes, name recognition in this 5th Congressional District is going to be difficult, okay? When you are from the hub of the district, where, the corner that joins the 2 stretched out parts and the largest voting base, that's going to help. So Dixon McMakin, state rep from 68, he's got an advantage there. State Senator Rick Edmonds, also well known within this district. By the way, Edmonds is going to have another in and out of district question to come up, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, we got a break for news. Hour 2's next. Do what? Do what? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Speaking of Kenner, bro, Monday morning, 6:35, we're going to have a Kenner City Councilman on the show. When was the last time we said that? A Kenner City Councilman with big news. At least I think it's big news. It's sports news, but I think it's pretty big. In fact, has it broken yet? I don't even know. Like, I found this out. This was supposed to come to fruition last night. There it is. All right, NOLA.com's got it. Y'all know how hard it is to just like sit on those stories? Yeah, or this one now. We're going to talk with Kenner City Councilman Joey Lahat, 6:35 Monday morning. Per NOLA.com, which I should get in the business of breaking news. The New Orleans Pelicans NBA G League team will move back to the New Orleans area under a proposed agreement approved by Kenner City Council Thursday night. The council unanimously authorized Mayor Michael Glazer to enter into an agreement with the Birmingham Squadron, the Pelicans developmental squad, to move them from Legacy Arena in Birmingham, Alabama, to the Pontchartrain Center at the north end of Williams Boulevard. A memorandum of understanding says the team will tentatively be named the Laketown Squadron. Laketown Squadron? So the Pelicans are going to dump about $5 or $6 million into renovating the Pontchartrain Center to make it into a basketball arena. One resident said, "This is the biggest splash in Kenner since Pan Am Flight 752. Tell me you're old school without telling." That's why I wanted Condon here this morning, just so I could tell him that joke. By the way, no resident said that. That's my own joke. Oh, 759. Excuse me.
Come on. I want to watch The Good Buddy. I'm looking forward to it.
It's not that I don't want to see Kid Rock. It's that I don't want to think about politics at all. I want 3 hours, 4 hours of it not being us versus them. We are seeking ways to hate each other.
And he could full blown just do a clean performance, and somebody's going to make it political.
Of course.
Don't y'all worry, child.
7:05 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you, Bree Lynn producing. Putting a button on that last segment. I know it feels like we're talking about Blake Miguez a heck of a lot in the District 5 race when he was just one candidate. There are many more candidates in that race. I try to mention Dixon McMakin as often as I can and State Senator Rick Edmonds as often as I can because they're both local. And, Dixon's a regular. Like when I go on vacation, Dixon fills in. And if you've ever heard it, you know he's dialed and he does a good job. So Blake's just in the news. Representative Miguez is just in the news right now. He feels like he's dominating the conversation. He's going to join us on Tuesday, but it's just the nature of how things pivoted. He was running for Senate. Now he's not. He's not from the district, and now he's got the president's endorsement. He's in the news a lot. So I want to make sure over the course of the next 100 days, every candidate in this race gets their due. Every one of them, and make sure that they're on here regularly so that when you go to the polls in May, you're ready. You know who you're voting for. All right, big hour this hour. We're going to talk with Quentin Taylor. He's the chancellor of River Parishes Community College. They've got a huge groundbreaking today. We'll get to that in a little bit. Right now, top stories and trending. Tis official. Former Saints quarterback Drew Brees is a first ballot Hall of Famer, signed by the Saints in 2006, won a Super Bowl, and he technically won the Super Bowl in 2010 following the 2009 season. He was named MVP of that Super Bowl. Brees holds the record for completion percentage in a season after completing 74.4% of his passes in 2018. He's second all-time in passing completions, passing touchdowns, and passing yards. And really, he's only second because he had to bow out of that back and forth between him and Tom Brady when his shoulder started to give way. Metro Council member Dwight Hudson submitted a measure to remove Councilman Cleve Dunn from his role on the Greater Baton Rouge Airport Commission following Dunn's money laundering and bribery indictments. The measure is being filed due to a, quote, alleged breach of fiduciary duty based on documentation from a felony indictment, Hudson said. Take you to Baker, where the city has received an $863,000 federal grant to build a new satellite fire station on the city's west side. The new fire station will enhance Baker's emergency response capabilities and provide faster response times, city officials said Thursday. It'll also provide improved coverage for underserved neighborhoods. The governor of California dropped a big GFY on AG Liz Murrell on Twitter. Only thing is, he didn't abbreviate it. If you don't know what GFY stands for, the FCC says I can't tell you. The G and the Y stand for go and yourself. The profane tweet was Gavin Newsom's response to Murrell's lawsuit over trying to extradite the doctor who sent abortion drugs to a Louisiana girl. A New Roads police officer was arrested for selling oxycodone pills to a confidential informant for the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office. EBRSO said the CI told deputies they had bought both oxycodone and Xanax from 44-year-old Quincy Lathers. I can't laugh in the middle of this. A New Roads police officer who lives in Denham Springs, they said the deal happened while Lathers was wearing his New Roads Police Department uniform.
Brian,
the
you are
level of trust you have to have. I would be worried that someone is like, you're not a cop, right? You're not a cop. Tell me you're not a cop and this isn't entrapment, right? Dude's in his uniform. What is it? How does that work? Did you get that at Party City? Like, he is a cop, and you're buying from a cop that you know is a cop.
A Halloween costume.
That's what I'm saying. You're buying from a cop that you know is a cop. It turns out it's the cop that gets in trouble.
Do you know every morning, Monday through Friday, the self-control I have to have while you're reading the top stories?
Yeah,
but today's just unhinged.
Gavin Newsom is unhinged. And by the way, shout out to AG Liz Murrell for hitting him back with oh, bless your heart.
Yeah, the Southern way of saying, yeah. All right, Cameron Guthrie, the brother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, has issued a second video on behalf of the family, urging for communication and proof of life of their mother, Nancy Guthrie.
We talked about this last hour, Brie Lynn. I don't like when an individual tragedy turns into our entertainment. And I'm not trying to be holier than thou, scolding everybody else for diving in, because I'm diving in too.
Me too.
This is a Netflix documentary playing out in real time. This is true crime in real time. And we've jumped the shark to where we don't know the result. We don't know, like, is she dead in the woods somewhere?
I know.
We don't even know if the body's cold yet. And we're all dialed in with every conspiracy under the sun.
At this point, we're pulling out the Alex Jones, InfoWars.
Right.
It's turned into 80 million conspiracy theories at this point.
Well, yeah.
Can we just find her first?
That's what I'm saying. But I'm guilty of it too.
I am too. I go down the rabbit hole too.
Who is the Petersons? Remember the Petersons, the falling down the staircase, the wife and the husband was accused, and
oh yeah,
and it was Michael Peterson. They had a Netflix documentary and an HBO docudrama about this, and it was like everyone relived their tragedy, but it was after their tragedy, right?
Yeah. Or the Gabby Petito, same thing.
Another one, yes.
Yeah.
And
I know.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
Every time.
All right. It might be on your news side, but it's also trending. Drew Brees has announced as a Hall of Famer. Was announced. Along with Drew, this year's class includes Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and Roger Craig.
Forget about it. I don't want to downplay Drew Brees, because how awesome is it to have a first ballot Hall of Famer? As Hoodats, we've all known this, right? As Hoodats, we've known since before the Super Bowl. I mean, when we went to Chicago for the NFC Championship, that as soon as they came back, I know we got slaughtered in that game, but we knew right then something special was in the works. Something special was being made. And then we went through the Super Bowl season and all the elation of that. And then a number of seasons where it just, back and forth, didn't pan out, didn't have the defense, and then put it back together again for the next NFC Championship run in, was it 2018 or 2019 with the Nola no call, which still goes down as the worst botching by an NFL official ever. And we could have had a second Super Bowl right there, but we all knew it. We absolutely knew it. And now to see it come to life on the first ballot's amazing.
I know. Well deserved. Yep. The Winter Olympics officially begin in Italy today. Carrying the flag for the United States will be bobsledder Frank Del Duca and speed skater Aaron Jackson.
Oh, you know who those people are?
I'm like, know them? Okay.
No, neither. That's the point. Neither do I.
Neither do I.
This is the only thing I don't like about the Winter Olympics, is the fact that, where are the names that we know?
Right. And look, I'll be honest. You said last hour, we sometimes have a lot of notable in LSU players, say for the Summer Olympics, but I don't know any of those people either. Most of the time, I don't know who's playing in either Olympics.
Okay, so I know the Tigers. We know, Sha'Carri Richardson. We know the Tigers that are going to be there for sure. Can you grab this?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Hang tight for me 1 second, please. We're at 7:13 to Talk 107.3 FM. We got a break. When we come back, we'll talk with Quentin Taylor from River Parishes Community College.
Joe Biden.
Hello? Yes. Yes, I will be. Let me. Do you see how there's two buildings? Connected? Yeah. Go to that gap and the door will be open for you, okay? Thanks.
Is that Quentin?
No.
Oh, that's Cody. Okay. I'm going to call Quentin in there.
You don't have his number, do you?
You wrote it down.
Oh, I did?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Joe Biden. She's not liberal, though, is she?
No. Good deal. Good deal. Good chin. Morning.
Hey, Quentin, good morning. Hey, we're going to be coming to you in like 30 seconds, okay? Okay.
$716 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. So there'll be a huge groundbreaking coming up this afternoon in Donaldsonville, bringing us up to speed on not just that, but we're going to tell the whole backstory as to why and where we head from here. We've got Quiton Taylor. He's the chancellor of River Parishes Community College on with us now. Quiton, how are you, man?
I'm doing well, Brian. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well as well. So walk us through what got us to today.
Wow.
Right?
It's if I didn't live it, Brian, I don't think I could believe it. So I'll take you back about 2.5 years ago. At this point, we received, or the college RPCC received notification that the state and the governor and his administration was vying to lure. At the time, we didn't know who, but just a large international company to Louisiana, and that they were considering Donaldsonville specifically. And I think it came down to another state. I believe it was Texas. Mm-hmm. And that was it. And then, you have to go through this legal process of signing NDAs and et cetera. And so company comes and they spend time on campus and economic development and all the people. It was a great conversation. And they asked us, did we think we could handle the workforce needs and demands for what they would need? There was still a lot of unknown at that time. And so you're always going to put your best foot forward. And we felt like we had one heck of a presentation, and then things just went radio silent. It was almost like you took the girl on a date and she had a good time and she told you she had a good time, and then you dropped her off home and you never heard from her again.
Right.
That's kind of what it felt like. And out of nowhere, we get a call saying, hey, we believe they're going to select Louisiana. We're going to make this announcement. But not only are we going to make this announcement in March of last year, but the governor and some other delegates are going to go to D.C. and make the announcement with the president. And I said, man, this thing just got really real. Yeah. And it has been 100 miles an hour ever since then. You want to talk about a coordinated effort from the top, again, with the governor, his administration, and the folks at LED, and all of the various stakeholders from state and local government, Ascension Parish, City of Donaldsonville, River Parishes Community College, our local delegation, just all working together to get this project to the finish line. And part of the project is the River Parishes Community College Hyundai Steel Workforce Training Center in Donaldsonville that we will break ground on today. We're looking at a 50,000 square foot facility that has about a cost of about $30 million, where we will train local citizens to be prepared to go to work in the world's first low to zero carbon steel plant that will be used to make steel that will help build Hyundai and the Kia and the Genesis line for Hyundai Automotive Group. And so we're going to be making steel that are going to be putting cars on the road all over the world. And I think it's a really cool opportunity for our people, for our community, economic development. But I think more importantly, it's about providing opportunity and access for a community and a region that oftentimes have not had that kind of access. And when you think about, again, 1,300 jobs, and Brian, average salary of $95,000 a year, that's going to be a game changer for that community, the economy. And then you think about the force multiplier of what happens when a facility of that magnitude comes on board, right? We've got our new campus. Obviously, you're going to have now restaurants and grocery stores and all the things that drive communities, right? It's a super exciting time, and I can't wait for 2 o'clock today in Donaldsonville to break ground on this new project.
We're talking with Quiton Taylor. He's the chancellor of River Parishes Community College. Quiton, I got to ask you about, so this is Hyundai specific training. This is a training center just for the Hyundai steel plant. how much of it is applicable to like potential other jobs as well? Like, for example, once the steel plant's up and running, once these 1,300 jobs are filled, this thing is the training center itself. I mean, obviously you're going to have turnover, but the training center itself doesn't become obsolete.
Great question, right? And so as we've worked with Hyundai to build out this curriculum, they were clear, listen, guys, we don't want to just create exclusively for Hyundai, because they realized that we have historically been an oil and gas petrochemical market. And we have to be cognizant of that. And we have to also create and develop a workforce for those industry partners as well. And so the interesting part of it is programs that we already offer are the gateway to the jobs at Hyundai. So let me give you an example without getting too technical, or, we're educators, so we sometimes get caught up in alphabet soup. So 4 of our largest programs today that feed into existing industry: process technology, instrumentation, electrical, and industrial maintenance. So a student will be able to enroll in any one of those 4 programs, and they will take those classes in the first year as they normally would. We will introduce a materials science class within that first year to whet their appetite, to give them a sense of what it could be like if they decided to pursue a career in the steel manufacturing process. And if a student says, you know what, I'm intrigued, I want to learn more, then they will transfer and they will study exclusively at the training center, where they will then finish a program that is really heavy on steel manufacturing, right? And then they'll graduate with an associate's degree, either maintenance mechanical, electrical mechanical, or advanced manufacturing. That will prepare them to go to work in Hyundai. So let's say Brian decides, you know what, after the first year, I think I just want to stick within process technology. Well, guess what? No harm, no foul. You've completed the first year. You will then just go into the second year of the traditional process technology program, and then you'll earn your associate degree in process technology, which will allow you to go to work in any one of the plants or facilities that we have here in our region. So we believe we've built a very strong curriculum that will not pigeonhole a student, to your initial question, that will prepare them for either route should they decide to remain in their program of choice, or if they wanted to now go off and venture into the steel making part of the curriculum. So we're excited about it. We think it's the best of both worlds. We think it will prepare students for existing legacy industry and or what Hyundai still has to offer.
Okay, so if I can oversimplify this, you're taking what's already on the menu and just specializing it. Like, instead of being an a la carte associate's degree, you've got more of a fixed menu for this, if I can make a restaurant analogy.
That's right.
Okay.
And listen, you did a much better job than I did in about 5 seconds.
No. You had to spell it out in order for me to figure it out. We got Quiton Taylor with us. He's the chancellor of River Parishes Community College. All right, now on the instruction end, those specialized parts on the instruction end, where do those people come from?
Man, you are asking all the right questions. So we're right now currently undergoing a global recruiting effort because right now, let's face it, we don't have that subject matter expertise in our backyard today. Right. And if they do exist, we haven't found them yet. So we have positions posted in specialty publications and other groups that specialize in steel. So we're looking for subject matter experts. And if there are people out there who understand the steel making process, we would love to hear from them. We're looking for a curriculum development specialist. We're looking for instructional designers. We're looking for people to come in and actually teach the steel making process that we're going to have to roll out. We are having conversations, quite frankly, with folks in Seoul and in Korea to see if there might be some interest in having some of them to come over. We may even have to take some of our current instructors who have, again, that sort of baseline understanding, and maybe we'll have to go to Korea and spend some time there and do a train-the-trainer type of a model. Mm-hmm. So all things are on the table. But the good news is we have a little bit of time. I don't want to say that too loosely, but we've got a little bit of time to make sure that we get the right people with the right skill sets to come in and help us build this out. And Hyundai is committed to helping us do that. We sit down and meet with them multiple times a week to make sure that every single boxes checked, every single T is crossed and I is dotted so that we get this thing done right.
We got Quiton Taylor on with us. He's the chancellor of River Parishes Community College. Quiton, got to ask you. So, okay, I know there's a stack of NDAs that were signed on the front end of this. I don't want to violate any of those. I don't know if everything's open for discussion yet, but Hyundai's mission here is low to zero carbon output. How much of that goes into their process versus how much of that goes into offsetting with a different carbon sequestration project on the back end? Or I guess a better way to ask that question is, will y'all be teaching low to zero carbon output on this front?
So, so some of that I can't discuss right now because of proprietary reasons and obviously the NDAs that are signed. But at the appropriate time, we'll be happy to sit down and talk to you again, Brian, come back on, and with people who really can speak specifically, again, the subject matter experts on it. But I can't get into that level today. But again, at the appropriate time, we want to be able to have that conversation. I think it's important that we do have that conversation with the community, right? So people really understand what is going on through the process of making this steel in this new zero to low carbon facility. But today is not the time for me to be able to discuss that. But I'll be happy to come back.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to be the case because, well, what they're doing is different. It's different than, industry wide. So it would stand to reason they would want to keep their cards close to their vest. I had to ask though. Let's talk a little bit about communication up and down the line. You mentioned, the work with the governor's office, the work with Susan Bourgeois at LED, the work with Susie Schoen. But let's add to the mix here the new head of LCTCS, Richard Nelson. How has he jumped in? He's jumped in midway through the process. How has that adaptation, kind of evolved?
It's been seamless, right? And I don't want to be a bag of cliches here, but he's really hit the ground running.
Yeah. President
Nelson, smart fellow, very sharp. And education can be a very convoluted and complex industry. But he, again, is a smart guy, came in, asked the right questions. He's rolled up his sleeves and he's asked us point blank, what do you need to get the job done? Not just for Hyundai Steel, but for all of our 12 community and technical colleges with the various different economic development operations or announcements, I should say, that have happened across the state. So no, he's been great. He'll be there today as well. We're going to continue to do this work. We're going to look forward to the upcoming session where we're going to go to the Capitol and talk about, the resources needed to make sure that we keep this momentum going. Because what we have to ensure is that the resources are available, and our governor and all the people at the legislature, they've made it perfectly clear that this will happen. It's going to get done, and we appreciate their support and just look forward to continuing the momentum.
Last one before we get you out of here, and I greatly appreciate your time on such a busy day. We got Quiton Taylor, the chancellor of River Parishes Community College. Last one before I get you out of here, Quiton, and that is spinning this into more. I'm always greedy and asking what's next. So you talk about continuing the momentum. How do you take this project and turn it into something bigger for the overall footprint of RPCC?
Yeah, so what I would say to that is, it is about making sure that every single person in our community and in our region is aware that, number one, this is a real and valuable opportunity for you and or your children. That's first and foremost. Number two, we've got to ensure that we get those people enrolled in our program. We just can't make them aware. We have to get them enrolled. We have to get them through, and we've got to get them hired, right? And so what I would say is the beauty of this relationship that we forged with Hyundai, they've made it perfectly clear. We want to hire local. Well, they want to hire local, and it's our job as locals to make sure that our people are aware again of the opportunities and get them enrolled so that we can really get continue this momentum. What I would also tell you is it's an exciting time for River Parishes Community College. Yeah. We've been doing this work now for 25 years right here in the River region, and sometimes you're just kind of the sleeping giant. Well, we don't want to be the sleeping giant, and it has taken Hyundai Steel and this announcement to put us on the map. Right? Industry has known, but I don't know if the community widely has known that we've been here and we've been doing such excellent work. And so I implore the community to support your local community and technical colleges. I implore the community to go out and find out about these opportunities and resources. And last thing I'll say, we are, and to the point of communication, we're putting together a comprehensive grassroots communications effort up and down the river from St. Charles, St. John, St. James, North Assumption, obviously Ascension and Iberville, and even EBR and West EBR, so people are aware of this opportunity. We want them all to come from far and wide to get trained and get these good jobs.
He is Quentin Taylor. It's an exciting day. Enjoy the ride. Thank you so much for a couple minutes.
Hey, Brian, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And next time,
yes,
get me in studio. I had a ball with you last time. I told you I was a college DJ, so I felt like I was back in behind the boards.
We will make it happen. Absolutely. Oh, you're about to be a regular around here, so always appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you guys. Take care.
You too. Here's news. We'll get you right here. And this Hyundai Steel thing is going to take it over my life.
Yeah, this sounded like
Well, it's so many different pieces, parts that like all came together for 1,300 jobs with an average salary of $95,000. That's big.
that is big. It's huge. I couldn't hear Quentin, but I can tell you.
I know it's all people are talking, and nothing much about it. I mean, we interviewed Landry yesterday. I still don't know what the hell's going on. I know it's more jobs. That's all I know.
Well, it's, I mean, when was the last time somebody said they wanted to move to Donaldsonville? Oh, all right.
We're always live on Facebook. So
Yeah. So,
Okay.
and Joe trusts me a little bit too much with where the conversation's going.
You trust me a little too much as well.
Okay. Where do you want to like start versus where do you want to take it?
I definitely wanted to highlight some of what we do in our mission. We can talk a little bit about just kind of the types of clinical trials that we run, how to sign up for a clinical trial. I'm open there.
It's M-E or M-I?
My last name?
Yeah.
M-E.
Okay.
Yep. Van Meter. I'm open there. I mean, definitely mission types of trials we do. Yeah, he gave me minimal talking points. So
All right. And then we'll talk a little bit about, process, like how the trials come to be as well.
Yeah.
Like, just throw a dart at a board and say, let's feed everybody a bunch of carrots. Like,
absolutely. How much time are you thinking, like collectively?
12 minutes.
12 minutes. Okay.
I got to do a live spot on the way in.
Okay.
You know what parking spot is Moscona's? Please, because he's out of town, and Tony Mathern's asking where to park when he gets here.
Give me 2 seconds. Which I need to just park in somebody's spot because I'm always a yes, but people need my spots.
Yeah.
Okay, Skona.
She's 16.
He's 16. And Michelle's like, "You park it in visitor." I said, "No, just because." She's like, "Oh, so spot." I'm like, "Well, put me somewhere."
Yeah.
That's not being number.
Parking.
I know, right? I'll just steal Flynn's spot.
736 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We are going to visit with our good friends at the Pennington Biomedical Research Center in just a quick second. Got to remind you about 5-Star Printing and Signs. Printshop5.com is the website. 271-4096 is the phone number. Of course, that's area code 225. Danny and his team do such a phenomenal job. They do a phenomenal job for your business, but this is an election year, and we're going to have elections all year long. We're going to be going to the polls seemingly every other week, depending on where you are. Danny and his team, this is where they really, really kick it in a high gear here, because you're talking about a short time turnover. You need accuracy. You need accountability. That's what he provides on both fronts. Of course, he's going to collaborate with you on the front end. But if you're using somebody out of state, if you're using a big box store who is not going to prioritize you in your campaign, you're going to hit the back burner, and you're going to end up with inaccuracies, misspellings, things you can't get corrected in time to get your message out as a candidate. So if you're running for any office at all this year, whether you're talking about the U.S. Senate race or all the way down the line, whatever we're talking about down the line, they've got you covered. Danny's got you covered. 225-271-4096 for 5-Star Printing and Signs. All right, we are joined right now by Cody Van Meter. He is the Clinical Trials Unit Administrator and Director of Clinical Operations. That's one heck of a business card. Cody, welcome aboard. How are you?
Thank you. Great, Brian. Thanks for having me. Doing great today.
Glad to have you on here. We got a lot to talk about because this is one of my favorite things when we talk about Pennington is y'all do so much behind those walls.
We do.
And you're just sitting there at the corner of Perkins and Kenilworth, and it's just this ginormous building. That's like, what's happening? So you're kind of at the epicenter of that. You're at the heart of what's happening when it comes to clinical trials. So let's talk a little bit. Well, actually, can we start with what your mission is?
Yeah, so our mission is to, at a very basic level, create a healthier Louisiana. I always say we're a hidden gem on Perkins Road. You're exactly right. A lot of people don't know what happens within our walls. We have world-renowned researchers and a lot of clinical trials that are really creating a better and healthier Louisiana and world. And so at a basic level, that's our mission. We're looking at solutions from cells to society, meaning we're conducting very early in a lab research, bench research, and we're translating that into the human population. So from cells to society.
Yeah, one of the things that I love is like you are world renowned within medical fields, especially, but like just for the everyday Joe who's driving by there, it's like, oh, hey, cool fountain.
Metabolic research, right? We have world leaders in the space of metabolic research, obesity, diabetes, every GLP-1 drug that's gone to market, and those are hot on the market today, have been vetted through our facility. So that's what we do.
Unbelievable stuff. Hey, wait, I'm sorry. I don't want to just scoot right past that. GLP-1's taken over the world. It's taken over the world of weight loss for so many different reasons. Can you directly attribute that back to work that y'all have done? Like, how can you one-to-one that for me?
Yeah, absolutely. It is what we do, right? So many of our researchers within those walls, you're driving by, there's a lot happening in there. The studies that have been conducted that show safety and efficacy for those GLP-1 drugs that make them okay to use in a human population, it's no exaggeration that every one of those has been vetted through our facility, and we've had our hands on those in very early stage clinical trials. And so that's, we've been a partner to pharmaceutical trials. We are an academic research institution as well. So partnerships with the NIH, the federal government, the Department of Defense. But that's what we do. We're on that journey.
Unbelievable. And just when you think about how like widespread the popularity of GLP-1s are right now, like to bring that back around and say we were on the front end of that. I mean, that's just I don't know. That's cool. That's worth noting.
It's incredible.
Let's walk down a couple of the types of clinical trials that y'all offer.
So we currently have 75 active clinical trials. So I oversee, our entire workforce that's overseeing human subjects research. So we are carrying out those 75 clinical trials, and they range everywhere from obesity, diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer trials, diet and lifestyles. So you may engage in a clinical trial where you are just coming to us, picking up meals. We're feeding you, we're guiding your diet, we're delivering exercise intervention. And so 75 active clinical trials. So I always say there's probably something for you. If you're someone who wants to contribute to science, might be interested in a clinical trial, there's probably something on our roster for you.
How do you farm out or know who you're looking for? I mean, you don't necessarily like if a trial that's in the cancer world, like, how do you find the right registrants?
The cancer space is an interesting space, right? Because you're finding someone at a very vulnerable state, kind of in their life. So that comes down to partnerships that we have with area healthcare providers to really get a close look at kind of their rosters and have those referral sources coming in. Outside of the cancer space, when you get into that more broad research, we have a pretty robust marketing and recruiting team. We have an in-house recruiting operation where we've built a repository of hundreds of thousands of clinical research participants that could qualify for our trials. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where we recruit from.
So for some of the trials, you don't necessarily know what you're going in for, though. I mean, like, it's how much of behind the curtain do the participants really get to see?
Yeah. So we, a research participant, we want you to be well informed. And so it kind of all starts when you might come to us, approach us and say, hey, I have an interest. And so we would direct you to our website to really be matched with the clinical trial. And that's www.pbrc.edu/clinical trials. You can scan our active trials there, but you're going to complete a web screener. You're going to complete a questionnaire that's going to come to us, and it's going to match you with a study or suggest, or maybe put you into the pipeline for other studies. We'll bring you in. We have a healthcare operations staffed by nurses, dietitians, physicians. We will put you through a physical exam, all of those things. And then we will go through an informed consent process where we talk with you in detail about what will happen with you throughout a clinical trial. And that's where you really get your information and you become a partner with us in understanding what we're asking you to go through.
Okay, I need to walk down this path. By the way, Cody Van Meter, the Clinical Trials Unit and Administrator and Director of Clinical Operations over at Pennington Biomedical Research Center is our guest. Got to walk down this path real quick. Is the nature of an experiment changes when the subject of the experiment knows they're in an experiment, right?
Yeah, it depends on the science. We have science where we like to kind of keep that shield up, right? So at a basic level, you will understand what you're going through from a medical procedure standpoint. It could be, though, that if we're looking at an experimental drug, we have to have a comparison group, a placebo group. And so you might find yourself in that group or the other, right? That placebo and not necessarily having that information.
Okay. When you know what the aim is, like you get people leaning in.
Yeah. And we want people that buy into the mission. Part of the journey is retention. We want a clinical trials participant that will come commit to a study. And so it's that balance of giving you the information you need to know the impact you're making, but maintaining that integrity of the science.
Talking numbers a little bit, you mentioned earlier on 75, on average, 75 active trials, but you've churned just shy of 6,400 participants through.
Yes.
Walk me through a little bit about that. Do y'all get like repeat customers? I mean, do you have regulars?
We do. We have regulars. We have what I would call career clinical trials participants, and we love them for it. So they come, they have a great experience with us. My team provides, I would say, stellar customer service. We talk a lot about customer service and providing that experience for our participants. And, with that, we build lifelong return customers here in this community and beyond. And they're what keep us going.
So that's encouraged.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Very, very cool stuff. We're talking with Cody Van Meter from the Pennington Biomedical Research Center about some of the clinical trials that they have to offer. Want to pivot over just to process a little bit and walking them through from start to finish, keeping people on the path of staying within the parameters of what they're supposed to do. How do y'all work that?
Yeah. So again, it all comes down to that kind of initial contact, informed consent. We will explain to you very thoroughly and very clearly what is expected of you throughout the life cycle of a clinical trial.
Mm-hmm.
You may be engaged in a trial where you're coming and just spending a couple hours with us one time. You may, I'm talking about a hidden gem on Perkins Row and some of the things that happen within our walls. You may be moving in with us for up to 2 weeks with a trial that we have going on right now. So you could become part of the family, live within our walls, eat your meals with us, and truly become one of the family. And so it's your buy-in as a participant and your partnership with us is critical in coming along that journey and understanding your obligations. We have a very well-rounded staff that'll guide you through all of that. Again, we are staffed with nurses, with dietitians. We have a metabolic kitchen. We have exercise staff, exercise physiologists, physicians, nurse practitioners, that full scope service of medical providers and clinical research professionals.
I don't know. I mean, like, do people go to their jobs in the middle of this and just come back like it's their apartment, or are they moved in to move in?
They move in to move in. So
no kidding.
When we're looking for those that might move in with us, really great population for that, work from homers, right? You move in with us, you're
Okay.
working from home and you're working from your bedroom on our inpatient unit there at
Okay.
Pennington. And so looking for the right type of participant that can commit to that, but they're out there.
Okay. I mean, as a husband and father of two, there's times you want to clock out. I just,
I mean, you could move this operation over. We'll take you.
We got a remote kit. We can do that for sure. I don't know that I would be able to get out of to and from basketball practice and whatnot, but I don't have a nicer way to ask this question, so I'm just going to ask it bluntly. You got to deal with the people who are participating in the trials, and then you've also got to deal with the doctors or the scientists on the other end.
Yeah.
Who's your customer?
My team, I have a team of, ranges between 75, 85, given on kind of what we have going on. We talk about customer service. We just went through an exercise of defining our customer. We find ourselves balancing that, right? Our participants are our customers. We are there to ensure that they have a great experience. They're our number one customer. Our researchers, though, while they have their quirks, right? They are scientists first. They are also our customers. So we kind of have them on level playing field there. Now we're there in the middle, sometimes kind of mediating and balancing that, but kind of equal playing field.
Well, and at the same time being results driven, which means that on your back comes a lot of working through efficiencies, making sure regulations are lived up to. So it's kind of like it's threefold.
It is. That's definitely that third leg there, ensuring that we're efficient in what we're doing, going on a journey of modernization right now. So installing technology around our institution to only make us faster and quicker, so that we can, produce more science, deliver on those expectations that our researchers have of us as they bring in really novel clinical trials, but also keeping our participants happy in a modern world.
So much more I want to get into, but we got 1 minute left. So I got to put this out there open-ended. Is there anything you're recruiting for right now?
I don't like to call it individual studies because, they're all important, right? They're all a priority. Sure. And it really depends on kind of where you're at in your journey as a potential clinical trials participant. So I would just ask that if you're interested, if you buy into that mission that is science, you go to www.pbrc.edu/clinical trials, and we will match you with the trial that is for you.
We only got 30 seconds. Can you stick around to the break for a little Facebook bonus?
Sure.
Okay, on the air, we got to meet up with Your Money Now. We'll come back and talk Super Bowl on the back end. We'll check Your Money Now. We'll check traffic. We'll come back. On Facebook Live, though, I had like 2 more questions for Cody that we need to get to. He is Cody Van Meter, the Clinical Trials Unit Administrator and Director of Clinical Operations over at Pennington Biomedical Research Center. Greatly appreciate your time this morning.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
All right. On air, here comes Your Money Now. On the back end of Your Money Now, we are going to pivot and talk Super Bowl, specifically about the halftime show. That's coming up next on Talk 107.3 FM. All right, so we're only on the Facebook Live audience right now, but one of the things that I threw at you before we went on was like, who sets up the parameters and how do you narrow it down for what the trial is going to look like, as far as like, you don't just bring a bunch of people and say y'all are going to eat a bunch of carrots.
Yeah, exactly. So when I kind of cited our tagline from solutions to cells and society, That's to illustrate that we have very early, years ahead, science research in a lab taking place where our scientists are developing research protocols. They're saying, hey, we think we might want to study this. And they go years down the line, kind of validating those points in maybe mice, right? Or in that smaller test population. And then we build a case to roll that out in a human population. So that's kind of in like house grown in-house science that finds its way growing up. We also have partnerships with pharmaceutical sponsors that prescribe the research to us. So they're telling us essentially, this is what we want you to go through.
Okay. I mean, because you have like very controlled dietary things and whatnot.
Research is about control, right? We want to control the environment.
Yeah.
We control those circumstances. So we might be feeding you, exercising you in the same way every single time. So everything we do is very prescribed and methodical.
Very, very cool stuff. Last thing before we get you out of here, if you saw me texting during the segment right there, former Metro Councilman Daryl Orso was texting me during the segment. He says, I am alive today because of Pennington. I did a nutritional study back in 07 to 09. They found a cancerous tumor on a kidney, stage 1. Cancer-free now since October of 09. So that turnaround was super duper fast.
That's incredible.
He says, you can share my story. It's not private. So sharing it back with you, Daryl Orso is like, thank you. That's and this is one thing. He didn't go in for a cancer study. He's in a nutritional study. So, yeah. I mean,
that's what we love. Yeah. That's what we love.
Very cool stuff. Cody, appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you. All right.
That story.
Right?
I love that.
I love the
What was his name again?
Daryl Orso.
Daryl Orso.
Yeah. Okay. And you've I think my mom's one of y'all's regulars too.
Okay.
So you see Anna Haldane on the roster.
Okay. We'll treat her well.
Hey!
How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good.
Hey!
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Mr. Ricky's here.
All right, Ricky. How's it going?
How are you?
Last name?
Sane. S-A-I-N.
Ricky Sane.
S-A-I-N. Yes.
Cody, welcome aboard. How are you? Cool.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Just to hang out in here?
Yeah. Just got a couple quick
water,
seconds.
coffee. Help yourselves. Free your mind, 'cause every prayer, try it free.
Oh, good. Medical Monday moved up to 1:30.
Turning Point USA's All-American Halftime Show lineup will feature Turning Point.
Well, thank you, Byron. Thank you. I had to fill some big old shoes with JP.
You what?
Yeah, Byron. I was joking around how I don't have a parking spot, and I said I'm such top liver. I'm even lucky to have an office. Byron goes,
JP parks. So he was in the back.
I'm a park in the back
That's-
then, to free up.
I don't like that idea. I'm sorry to be sexist, and I hope that you don't consider this sexist, but it's dark back there at 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning. I would rather you be under a light close to the entrance. It's
Spot 35 is open. That's on that side, huh?
I don't know,
I'm gonna ask Michelle if I can have that spot.
but yeah,
Mornings we get jam packed.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
well, it's does Musso have a spot?
Yeah.
Do y'all cross? No, he gets here too early. Never mind. But you're full time, so you should have a spot. Yeah.
You always miss.
I did not miss.
Oh, you made it?
I made 2 out of 3 just now, which is more than I could say from LSU last night on their free throws.
Woo!
Oh. Three out of 4. Quentin Taylor's a feature today, by the way.
Oh yeah, he's already featured.
Yeah. Woo!
Excuse me. Shit.
Seven to 55, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Thanks again to Cody Van Meter from Pennington Biomedical Research Center for stopping by. Want to give a quick shout out to Pennington from former Metro Council member Daryl Orso. He was texting me during the show or during the segment there. And I wanted to share this with everybody because it kind of is a testament to what they do at Pennington. Daryl says, I am alive today because of Pennington. I did a nutritional study back in 07 to 09. They found a cancerous tumor on a kidney, stage 1. Cancer-free now since October of 2009. So think about that in terms of he didn't go in, he went for a nutritional study, but because of the depth of the work that they do, they were able to find that out. It was stage 1. He was able to turn that over and get himself on the road to recovery like in no time. So awesome shout out. Awesome testimonial right there for the folks over at Pennington. All right, we are plugging right along here. Neurojust coming up at 8:15. You know what? I'll tell you about Neurojust when they're on here with us. Going to be a good time here. Ricky Sane was a patient with Neurojust, and he's going to be in to tell his story. So we'll get him and Jordan over here in just a little bit. Right now, though, this weekend is it's Super Bowl weekend. Super Bowl Sunday coming up. And Breland, you already know where I'm going with this, is that
the good bunny, bad bunny?
Bad bunny. Can we please just have one Sunday afternoon to celebrate the thing that both sides of the aisle come together for
real.
Celebrate the athleticism of the NFL athletes, the creativity of the advertisers that bring us the commercials, and the talent of the Super Bowl halftime show. Even if that talent is not our cup of tea, it's still out there.
That's what I'm looking forward to, because normally I would never listen to any Latino music. So I want to see his performance.
Right.
I want to enjoy the show.
That's where we should be. But now we can't even have the dadgum Super Bowl without picking political sides.
And with that being said, you didn't hear about this, but I'm going to fire it up.
Go for it.
Turning Point USA's All-American halftime show lineup will feature performances by Kid Rock, Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and Gabby Barrett. Kid Rock is a close ally of President Donald Trump. Gilbert, Brice, and Barrett are country music stars. The Turning Point organization announced the show after the NFL's choice of Bad Bunny sparked controversy. The show is meant to compete with Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime performance.
So yeah, it's just now we got that.
So now I'm a woke liberal if I watch the Super Bowl.
Right.
Is that where we're at now?
That's what I'm saying.
If I don't turn off the Super Bowl halftime show in order to watch the Turning Point halftime show, that I'm now a traitor to America, or what are we doing here?
Right. And then Caroline Levitt, you heard me fire up that. I'm not going to play it, but basically the press asked, would Trump be watching the halftime show? And she joked and she's like, I think President Trump would prefer not to watch. Come on. It's just, are we at that point?
I think, yeah, sadly, I think we are. I don't know how we get off of that point.
And I'm a fan of Kid Rock too, so
Same.
I might tune back and forth.
He came for Rock the Country, and it was awesome,
phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I'm going to flip back and forth just to see. But man, are we serious?
Apparently we are, and apparently there is no escape, and apparently you have to be beat over the head every moment of every day to figure out why there shouldn't be a waking moment where you don't hate somebody.
I know.
It's one thing to have the State of the Union with the Democrat response. It's another thing to have the Super Bowl halftime with the Republican response.
I know.
You see how these are two completely different worlds?
And the thing is it all kind of got even more fuel behind it when Bad Bunny made the comments he made at the Grammys, but it wasn't bad.
The comments, he just said ice out, and he talked about how people dream to come here.
Right.
What Billie Eilish said was 1,000 times worse.
He went way overboard with it.
Totally. His comments, I thought were pretty.
And then when he made his comments, Roger Goodell did a press conference Monday saying that I forget the words, but it's something. It won't be political.
Yeah. Hour 3's next.
Are you on that email from Michelle? That's a long email.
It just won't go away.
Oh, you are on that email. Okay.
Me?
Yeah, that long email. I'm gonna read it later from Michelle. Oh, speaking of, when we get closer to the summer and we start bringing in meats, do you want, and we probably already did this, Adam to bring in Chris's specialty meats?
Of course.
Okay. I figure.
Wait, who?
Adam Kucher. I don't know how to say his last name. With Chris's specialty meats.
I usually get Coben.
Okay. Either way, it don't matter. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You brought all
What
of
you
them.
say, boss?
Damn, you got all of them.
Gotta love it.
Jamie's not coming?
Huh?
Your sister.
No.
I was hoping to see her.
You what?
About 24 seconds. You all right? Yeah, we got to knock out this day history and everything else going on. Then
We'll rock and roll it. Let me know when you're ready. Yep. Oh. Tony Matherine just entered the building with a stack of king cakes.
I turned around. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, it's a lot of king cake. Oh, Foodie Friday coming your way a little bit later this hour. Also this hour, our good friends over at Neurojust. Look, I tell you about Neurojust every day, but we're going to get a firsthand account of someone who's been through TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation. Looking forward to hearing Ricky Sane's story. He's coming up in our next segment. Before we get to anything else, though, before we get into this day in history, I do need to remind you about the folks over at One Bath and Closets. David Duvall and his team at One Bath and Closets. Phone number 225-400-8005. Look, my personal story with One Bath and Closets is probably similar to yours. We have a lot of houses in Baton Rouge that are more than 40 years old. My house, 60 years old, 62 to be exact, built in 1964. Well, we still had a 1964 bathroom. We still had a bathroom that was clearly outdated. We had one vanity in the master bath. And I got to tell you, all that time, all those years, it was run down and was not efficient at all. And obviously wasn't pretty. We called David at 400-8005, got him out. He walked us through what our possibilities were to make our bathroom not just prettier, but more user-friendly. 2 vanities for the wife and I, the walk-in shower, the whole, we turned the towel closet right there. Just everything about it works better for us. Everything about it looks better. The process was seamless. It was unbelievably user-friendly on our end. I mean, you have people coming in doing construction within your house while you're living in your house. It was unbelievable. Just working together with them. Zero buyer's remorse, nothing but rave reviews for David and his team at One Bath and Closets. Check them out online, onebathandclosets.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, onebathandclosets.com. All right. This day in history, let's roll.
Okay, back in the year 1865, General Robert E. Lee is appointed General in Chief of the Confederate Armies during the U.S. Civil War.
How do you do?
Right? How did he do?
Yeah, how did he do?
I don't know. Remind me again?
Did he win?
Remind me.
No, he lost.
Okay. I know. It's been so long since I took history in school.
Well, you forgot if the South lost the Civil War?
Just a tad, Brian.
Right.
I'm too focused on Bad Bunny right now.
I understand.
1899, Spanish-American War ends. Peace treaty ratified by Senate. 1926, the NFL rules college students are ineligible until they complete their college careers, which that's thrown out the window, right? Am I correct?
What?
Nowadays, anybody could join the NFL before they finish college, correct?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, but once you're in, you're in. Like, once you put your name into the draft, you can't come. Yeah.
Okay. 1935, the board game Monopoly goes on sale for the first time. I had no idea that game is that old.
I honestly, I'm surprised it wasn't older.
Oh my gosh. I thought it was an 80s thing. Okay. 1974, U.S. House of Representatives begin determining grounds for impeachment. Goodness. President Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
1980, John Wayne Gacy goes on trial for the murder of 33 young men in Cook County, Illinois. That story right there. John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
I know. And I saw the Netflix miniseries about it. I don't know if you saw it. Yeah. 1998, Washington National Airport is renamed Ronald Reagan National Airport back in the year 1998.
Yeah.
the one you just flew into and
Yeah.
flew out of.
Yeah, before it was the DCA is still the the
That's
abbreviation
what they call
for
it. Yeah.
That's like New Orleans is Armstrong Airport, but the initials are MSY.
It's always going to be
Yeah.
MSY. Yeah.
You don't change the initials for it. You don't change the abbreviation for it. By the way, if you're wondering how it got the name MSY,
Why MSY?
okay. Property was owned by Moisant was the last name,
Okay.
and it was a stockyard, Moisant Stockyard.
I never did. I'm like, why MSY?
Yep.
Okay. In 2014, Jay Leno hosts The Tonight Show for the final time on NBC.
Yep.
2018, Elon Musk, his company SpaceX, launches Falcon Heavy, the world's most powerful rocket.
Oh, awesome.
In 2020, it was the date of the first COVID-19 related death in the U.S. so early, February 6th.
Really?
Yeah, I thought, okay, here, it was confirmed by the CDC in April 21. I guess they had to take some time to dig into it. But yes, the first death of COVID-19 in the U.S. was today.
Wow.
On this day in history.
See, that's going to be tough to run down because until you know COVID's a thing, you don't know who's dying of COVID.
That's what I'm saying. I think they were still trying to figure all that out.
Right.
Okay, what else you got, Brian?
For this day, nothing.
Yeah.
I got all birthday. Well, no, this day in 1952. Queen Elizabeth. Elizabeth became queen.
I had that too, but I'll just skip by it. Okay, let's see. Birthdays. Okay, Charlie Heaton. He is known for his role in Stranger Things. He turns 31 today.
What's his role in Stranger Things?
Let me see.
Oh,
For
you skipped the golf ball thing that we talked about earlier.
You want me to talk about
What?
that?
I just
Hang on.
this
All right.
day in 1971.
A man.
Alan Shepard hit a golf ball on the moon.
I know.
It just what a great like
In a random, like, I ate a burger on the moon
Right.
kind of thing. You know what I mean?
But just if I want more on my drive, I'm definitely going where there's no gravity. Like if I want more on my because my golf game's terrible, I want to take a big old swing on the moon. Here's the thing though, is when you put all that torque in from yourself, is he like messing with his own like was there kickback basically?
Right. And did it come back and hit him?
Did he? Yeah. Well, no, it's just gonna go. Like I wonder if that golf ball did that golf ball ever land?
Right. Or is it just floating around?
I don't know if we know. Did the golf ball ever land?
Now I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole and Google it.
See?
I know.
Yeah.
The first man to take a on the moon.
Well,
Anyways.
oh goodness.
All right. Anyways.
What a guy thing to do though, by the way.
Right.
It's like it basically like he went to the moon for a bar bet. Like
right.
Yeah, I can hit this golf ball. I'll tell you how far I can hit
I'll
this
bet
golf
you
ball.
$1,000.
I can outdrive you for sure.
Yep. All right, Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, 61 today. Love him. Saw him live in New Orleans. Best day in concert.
Okay.
Rick Astley, he is 59 today. Babe Ruth, even though he passed away in 1948, he does have a birthday today.
Okay.
Bob Marley, even though he passed away, he does have a birthday today as well.
Couple more on that front. Natalie Cole was born on this day in 1950.
Oh, Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan was born on this day in 1911. Zsa Zsa Gabor, born on this day in 1917. Ava Braun, Hitler's wife, as it were.
Oh, Lord.
1912. Now, 2 years before Ava Braun, 1 year before Ronald Reagan, Calogero Minacori. You might know him better as Carlos Marcello, the little guy.
Okay.
He was born on this day in 1910.
Unfortunate deaths on this day. Carl Wilson, he is known for being the guitarist in the Beach Boys.
Okay.
Let's see. One of my favorite movies, I actually wrote a whole 20-page report on it in college. Joseph Cotton from Citizen Kane. He unfortunately passed away on this day in history.
All right. National Day. What you got?
National Day. Hang on. I had it and it closed out. Let's see. Oh, okay. National Bubble Gum Day.
Why not? We can roll with that. It's 8:14
I
Talk
love
107.3 FM WBRP. We're running a minute or so long. That's all right. We'll take a quick break. Come back. We got Neurojust next. Oh.
It's a coin flip of whether or right. Which is nuts, right? Yeah.
We got both of y'all or just
Whatever you want.
No, it's up to you, man.
I'll say let's put them both on.
Yeah.
I can be a player. You can be the between two ferns, and I'll be one of the ferns. You know?
Well, y'all grab these two mics, and I'll be over here.
All right.
And we'll get rolling. So I'm Brian.
I'm Ricky.
Nice to meet you, Ricky.
Freeland, nice to meet you.
Hi.
This is,
You too.
So how small did the world get on Christmas Eve?
Yeah, I know.
With Bradley and Corey?
Hanging
Holy
out.
crap.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bradley's my cousin, and now I'm like doing a weekly hit on Corey's show.
Nice.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, they're good dudes. They're when you sent me the picture, I was like, of course. I mean, it's 6 degrees of separation in South Louisiana.
Always.
You know,
Always.
you're gonna find somebody that knows somebody. So
I'm so interested to hear what y'all have to say because not to go down the rabbit hole, but I suffer from depression and anxiety. I'm Lexapro, Buse bars. Oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
My doctor calls Buse bar water.
Oh yes,
Water.
Buse bar.
Yeah,
Yes, you can definitely better.
Really?
Oh yeah. A lot of people are on it, but he's like, doesn't really do much.
$8:16 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We've ticked up to 48 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. We got Foodie Friday coming your way in our next segment. Tony Matherine's in the house, obviously from Matherine's, and he brought with him a stack of king cakes. We're gonna have a good time with that. But first, though, want to welcome Jordan Generous back in from Neurojust. How are you, man?
Good. How you doing, Brian?
Doing very well this morning, and you brought a friend with you, Mr. Ricky Sane. Ricky, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank
Let's get you right up on that. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I want to let you just tee it up and tell the story here because we get a firsthand account of someone who's walked through the process of TMS therapy. But I want to kind of, for those that don't listen to the show regularly, might not know a little bit about our interaction and our relationship.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and tell the Neurojust, the Cliff Notes version of the Neurojust story.
Yeah. So, we have two clinics. One's in New Orleans, one's in Baton Rouge. We do a therapy called TMS. It's a treatment that's very similar to like physical therapy for the brain, right? So, most people think that depression, anxiety is a chemical imbalance, right? And you got to throw chemicals at this because it's a chemical imbalance. And what's been proven recently is that is a lie perpetuated on, the public, right? And we all know who profits from everybody knowing or thinking that this is a chemical issue, right? Just like any medical issue, if you have a chemical issue, whether it be blood sugar or whatever else, well, you do blood tests to see what those levels are before you start treatment and after you start treatment.
Right.
Every patient I've ever talked to said, I've never had a blood test to see what my serotonin and dopamine levels are prior to taking a medication. I said, because it's not actually the issue. The issue is a functional imbalance. So what we do is a treatment stimulates a part of the brain and it gets that functional imbalance in the brain to come into balance. And patients are asking, how often do I need to get treatment? Do I need to get treatment every year, every 2 years? And I said, well, it's just like physical therapy, right? If I get you better, right? And you go out and you do some healthy things and you live a healthy life, less likely you need to go back for physical therapy. And, when I sat down with Ricky, it was great because I always educate patients on what TMS is. He's like, I know what TMS is. And I was like, how do you know what TMS is? He goes, I did it 20 years ago. And I was like, wait, what? I know this has been out for 40 years and it's been FDA approved for just about 20 years. And Ricky starts telling me his story and I was just so astounded by it. I was like so interested in his story. So I wanted to get him on here to talk about his history with TMS and his obviously experience with Neurojust as well.
All right, then Ricky, the ball is in your court now. Let's move it on over to talk a little bit about, before we get into the TMS part of this, before we get into your treatments at Neurojust, I want to talk a little bit about how you walk down the path of recognizing depression, recognizing anxiety, and where you were before you started this.
As Jordan was just saying, I would say it was in like 2004.
Okay.
when I first had my first episode of major depression. And I recognized simply because I could not function.
Okay.
Literally could not function. I could get up. I would get up, get dressed, go to work, and sit at my desk, and that's as far as I could go.
Right.
I could sit at the desk all day long and not do anything. I would sit there the whole 8 hours and just could not go beyond being there.
Right.
So, I mean, after this or that, you're like, something's not right. I'm not sure what's not right, but something's not right. And I just, unfortunately, I worked at a social service agency and had talked with the therapist, one of the therapists who worked there, and they referred me to a psychiatrist who then gave me the diagnosis. I then went and started getting treatment, as a medication, getting medication, seeing a therapist, and all this sort of thing. And while I was seeing the psychiatrist for the medication, he told me that the place that I was going to was the university, and so they were part of a study. They had a study going on at that time for TMS.
Okay.
To get approval from the FDA to use TMS for the treatment of depression and anxiety, and asked me if I wanted to participate. Now, of course, I'm very familiar with doing medical studies anyway. I've always participated whenever I had the opportunity to do so. I appreciate these opportunities to help in the advancement of medicine. So anyway, when I went to treatment, they explained to you that it's a study.
Right.
So it's the way it works. It's a blind study. So some people will get the actual treatment. Some people will experience the feeling of being treated, but there's no treatment.
Kind of
involved.
a placebo category.
Exactly.
It's called sham. It's
Sham.
TMS. It's
Yeah.
basically a fake TMS, but it feels similar, but it doesn't do it.
Okay.
And once I started that, I would say probably about the second or third week, I knew I was receiving the actual treatment because my mental health began to improve dramatically. And I just could function much better and everything. And it went so well, actually, that when I was finished, the doctor asked me to participate in testifying before the FDA for the approval. Also, the local news came to my home, and I did a segment on my experience of the TMS. And so I knew from that experience, I knew exactly what it would do and how well it worked. And because I was better than ever before in my life after that experience. And it went along very well. And then years later, I had a second episode of major depression.
I want to timeline this for us a little bit because you live in New Orleans, right?
Now,
okay.
Yeah.
Where were you? Where
I lived in
Chicago before. Okay,
right.
So you finished this study about how far it, like when you're with Neurojust, it's roughly 36 treatments somewhere up in there. How many treatments were there with the study?
I think when the study, it was around the same amount of treatments.
Okay.
It's about 40 treatments. Something like that.
All right. So, and that concluded about what year?
That concluded in 2007.
07. Okay.
Yeah. The FDA approval was granted in 2008.
Okay.
Right? So
now we fast forward FDA 08. Now we fast forward to when you realized you were walking down the same path again, and like compare it to me, like your level of awareness to know what to go look for this time.
Well, one thing I was very clear about is that I like I said, from the experience, I knew what TMS was. I knew how it worked. I knew it would work. There was no doubt in my mind about that part. The thing was finding it.
Right.
That was the thing. And because when I moved here, I couldn't find it. Well, when the depression episode happened, it was like around 2015.
Okay.
When the second episode happened. And again, medication, therapy, and all that. But I never achieved what I would be feeling, what I would consider to be wellness.
Sure.
Remission. Right.
Right. It was always like I was always still struggling. I still had to work harder to accomplish things, to enjoy life, to participate in things. I still had to put some effort into just being able to do those things. And so I occasionally would just look on the internet for local TMS, and finally found Neurojust finally, and I signed up quickly as I could, because I knew exactly what was going to happen. I just needed to get in there.
Yeah. The second time through, this one of the parts I'm fascinated by is were you able to grasp what was going, like consciously grasp what was going on, but subconsciously still going down the same path? Like when it comes to the depression episode or any anxiety episodes, like was there like a separation within to say this is what's happening, but I can't seem to stop it?
But there was I lost it was a death. I lost a partner.
Okay.
And that death started that spiral.
Yeah.
That's when the depression
trauma threw him back.
The trauma.
Yeah.
The trauma threw me back in this spiral.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you're gonna grieve when somebody dies. That's just what happens, And so yet I just noticed that I wasn't handling it the way I handle anything else.
Okay.
In life. I was not functioning again.
Right.
And so I knew what the answer was. So I knew what was happening, and I also knew what to do about it. And at that point, though, like I said, what I was only thing I could find at that point in time was medication. And
sure,
I knew what it would be helpful, but I knew it wasn't going to be, the answer. Actual. Right. So I continued to look for TMS until finally I found that it was here, and that's okay.
So you come across Jordan, you come across Neurojust. Walk me through from there, going back through the process again, knowing what you were going to get into, knowing what the outcome was. How was it handled the second time around?
Well, the second time I knew exactly what was going to happen. He walked me through he was walking me through the process. I mean, you got to tell me I know what this does.
Right.
I'm perfectly clear about how it works, and I know it's going to work. Mm-hmm. There was no doubt in my mind that things were going to get better. Yeah, I was going to be well. There was no question in my mind whatsoever. It was just happening. You just have to go through the process, though.
Right?
Yeah. So, and I just, sure enough, I would say probably third week or so of the process. I'm like, okay, here we go. Yeah. I can feel the lightness. I can feel the energy. I can feel all this me coming back to myself. Basically. Right. Yeah. I can feel it all coming through, and so then it just can let me, And I knew that once I got through the entire treatment, now. The other thing that I was dealing with is also prostate cancer. I had this diagnosis of prostate cancer.
Okay.
And I had decided to go through radiation treatment for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, to me, it was perfect timing because I knew what the TMS was going to do, which was going to make me be able to handle the radiation treatment a whole lot better.
Absolutely.
It's a whole different experience than what I was anticipating having to deal with. I didn't have to deal with any depression. I was like, I'm doing what I need to do to get well. That's all it was. Yeah. I knew I would have to deal with the side effects of the radiation that comes along with the process.
Right.
But I didn't experience what I likely would have had I not had the TMS, which would have been, oh God, I got to go through this again. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, now what's going to happen? Oh, I would have been worried about the whole process and what was going to, how I was going to manage things and all this sort of stuff. And I didn't have any of that.
Why? Because that brain fog creates clouding. That clouding creates doubt. That doubt, you end up losing. Yeah.
And
it spirals from there. So I've never thought about it in terms of when you need to gird up for another battle.
Yeah.
Making sure those C's are clear in between your ears has got to be that's a vital key right there.
It is. It was made a big difference.
Even cancer doctors know this because they're starting to cover acupuncture, for example, in patients with cancer, because they know that the mental state of patients with depression, anxiety that are going through cancer is a huge indicator of how your mindset is going through cancer treatment actually improves outcomes.
Yeah.
And the problem is a lot of these medications or treatments, you can't take certain antidepressants. There's a lot of contraindications. You got to be so I mean, TMS is the safest thing and the most effective thing to do if you are going through a traumatic experience like that and needing to fight for your life in cancer. So, but
comes out the other side for the second time. How long ago was that, and how have you been since?
How long ago was
to finish the treatment?
I finished with just the beginning of January.
Excellent.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah.
And smooth sailing right now.
Oh,
How are you? Wait, Breland, we're going to run long by a minute. Sorry. How are you on the cancer front? Everything?
Everything worked out fine. The radiation also finished in January, and at this point, I'm just going through the effects of the radiation.
Okay.
Yeah,
remission on all fronts.
Yeah.
Yes,
we will take that as a win. That is a big
win. Total win
for sure.
Win.
Absolutely.
Check it off
And my
boxes.
thing is like, I just want people to know that if you're dealing with depression or anxiety, TMS is the way to go. There's no question in my mind.
Yeah.
I mean,
about
FDA
this.
approved, no
There
side
is
effects.
Insurance
Insurance covers
covers.
it.
Yeah.
I can't shout that loud enough.
No.
Insurance will pick
Every
up the
insurance
tab.
covers it.
I got two more for Jordan before
Sure.
we get out of here. Thank you so much for coming and sharing on that front. That's unbelievable stuff. Two more quick questions.
Mm-hmm.
The value of buy-in on the patient's end on the front end is what?
Yeah. So I mean, there's really good studies, and and I asked you kind of asked this question, Ricky. I don't think he picked up on exactly like the difference between his treatment with us versus what he got in the beginning, because this original trial was not set up with any type of outside influence on the patient, just TMS. And that's how these studies are meant to be designed.
Right.
You sit in a room, they do treatment, they may be in there with you, but it's not designed to also provide a therapeutic environment. Right. And, what we're trying to do is provide the best therapeutic environment for a patient to get the best success. Yeah. Everything about our clinic is set up to get the best success. So, understanding all of the aspects of TMS on the front end, which is why I do this. I mean, the consult's important, not for, my sake, it's for the patient's sake. If they understand everything that's going to go on, have all their questions answered, which is free, the consult's free, you now can put all those fears at rest. Mm-hmm. When you combine a therapeutic environment with TMS, you get 20 to 30% higher outcomes. So that's why we're set up the way we are. How great were our treaters?
Oh my God, they're amazing people.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing people.
It's all designed for a reason, right? And I knew when Ricky was getting better because I could hear him from the break room laughing. I mean, he's got the best laugh of anybody I've ever met.
Love that.
And I could hear it from, in the hallways. And Ricky's here. And I knew he was getting better, so he's starting to laugh again, and he needs to bring that laugh in the world more often,
And that's always been my signature. By the way, any place I've been where there's a large room of people, they always knew when I was there. I would hear it later on. Well, I knew you were there because I could hear your laughter from across the room.
Look,
you have a distinctive laugh.
We got 40 years worth of research behind it, 85% response rate. Mm-hmm. I sent Jordan my own mother. Like this is it's a win. 225-330-7382, 225-330-7382, or I would just start off online at neurojust.com. Mm-hmm. Jordan, Ricky, thank you all so much for a couple minutes this morning.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
All right, ran long for ABC News. Here's our local news, traffic, weather. It's Foodie Friday next. Awesome.
Yeah.
Could not have done better. That was wonderful.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
glad you offered to do this.
Yes, man. I was.
We're on Facebook still, so
I couldn't wait. I knew. That's why I said, man, you got to give me some opportunity to talk about this.
So put me in front of people. I want to tell my story.
I want to tell this.
As soon as he was done.
I want people to know.
Well, you and I can talk all day long.
Yeah.
His story is, that's
so much more beneficial for patients.
You put it in, like, I know it's anecdotal to mention one specific trigger.
Yeah.
But I don't know the individual conversations with mom, but I'm sure the death of my dad was one of her triggers. I'm sure the loss of the spouse is probably
Well, I mean, it's the long-term depression and anxiety doesn't go away. It just, there's times where it's better and there's times where it's really bad. Right. And it almost takes a really bad situation and a breaking point for people to actually come in and see us. But that's, and that's usually when people end up getting diagnosed. Some type of traumatic experience.
Yes.
Something happened to you back when it just debilitated you back in 2007 or 2005 or whenever it was.
Right.
But I want people to hear that you can get long-term effects from this. It's not just, it happens for a little while. It might be a little bit better. That's what they're used to with medications. Works for a few months, and then all of a sudden, like makes you feel a little bit better, and then it goes away.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
And then you're trying something else.
Right.
And that's the other thing too, is you're trying stuff. Nothing is said, take this and this is what's going to happen.
Exactly what's going to happen.
You got to try this.
Yeah.
Try this. Oh, that's not okay. Try this. Okay, you're just trying stuff. No.
That's why
we keep seeing a commercial on TV for, and I forget the name of the drug, but it's to amplify your antidepressants. I don't know the name of the drug, but it's like if you're on
Vraylar, maybe
that
something
might
like
be
that. Yeah,
something like
There's
that.
a few of them that are new.
Yeah.
All the commercials are the same.
Yeah.
Somebody playing tennis,
Yeah.
somebody in a park.
Yeah.
And it's like if you, but the one where they hold up the sad face.
Yes,
on
yes,
the stick.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yes.
one.
Yeah.
But I'm like, God, you gotta take a second drug to make the first drug work now.
They do it all the time. It's called an augment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they use that word in the commercial.
Yeah, augment. Yeah.
So
It's terrible.
at a certain point,
Use bars and augment.
this is a racket.
I know. I was
Yeah.
going to ask, do I need a referral? Or can I
No,
just
you
go-
walk in, or you just go to, just like what Brian said, go to the website, book a consult,
I'm
or you
really
can email
Well, I'm
Carter
telling you.
or me. I'll get with Carter.
I suffered so bad after my 24 postpartum depression that
Mhm.
they put me on Quiton. Remember, Ron, when I was pregnant
Mhm.
because I couldn't gain.
Yeah.
And so when I got off, I said I want off of Remeron because I'm gonna keep gaining weight.
Yeah.
So they transitioned me over to Lexapro. Whopping on Lexapro and use for
Lexapro has
4
weight gain
years.
too, but it's
Five
just less.
now.
Yeah.
5 years
Yeah.
now.
All right,
I need
boss.
to do that.
I'm telling you, guys, you're gonna,
I'll let him tell you.
you're not gonna believe.
And I can get off the medication.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we don't
Yes.
stop before. We let you get off after. I
Right.
want to get you
And-
better
and
where you
will help
are.
wean me off.
Your doctor does that.
Your doctor does
so
that.
I don't swim in his pool. He doesn't swim in my pool. I do TMS. I get you better. Send you back. Let him wean you off.
right here.
I know
Yes.
Lexapro's a hard ass drug. That's
It's not
Well, I
the
will
worst
tell you,
one.
you-
to get off.
Is this
It's
the
not the worst.
medication?
Yeah.
I will tell you this
Evil
much, though.
man.
Once you have the TMS, that part is easy.
Yeah.
Actually.
Let me take the
Part of
picture of the
life
whole
is worse
display so
when
when
you
we post the
still
audio
have
on
depression,
demand,
Right.
because
that's
you
what
get
shows
thrown-
up.
It's a chemical depressive state because you have this serotonin
Here.
deficiency for a little while, but it only lasts a week or two. But it's worse when you have depression because
Right.
then the serotonin drop
Gotcha.
and the native depressed state is going to make
And
it even
it's
worse.
still there.
Awesome.
Okay.
When it's gone, it's
All right.
so much
And we'll show them off
One thing-
individually on the
yeah, the
camera.
medication was the
That's
getting
what-
off medication was
so-
easy.
Look, we're not just going to talk
Yeah.
Withdrawals are here. Yeah. The withdrawals are
downtown to stop off.
Once you
No,
take it, that's-
right, because
Obviously, we
right,
talk TK headquarters as well,
Yeah,
but also
yeah, they're no, they're not as bad.
Yeah.
we're going to cover as much ground as we can.
Like what they call brain zaps. Yeah.
All that stuff. Yeah, it's not bad. It's really not as bad. And the thing is about it, your sense of well-being is what makes you be able to not have to deal so much with those withdrawals.
Yeah.
That's what makes the withdrawals
better
and
mentally
less.
able to handle it.
You're right. That's what makes the withdrawals and
Well,
less.
good deal.
And it's just
Yeah.
peace and clarity in your brain. That's
That's
all it
really-
gives you.
I'm telling you,
It's the best description.
Yeah.
It's peace and clarity in your brain. You're
That's
not
it.
Damn
trapped
right.
in
Clarity.
Yeah.
The clarity is so like
It
that's the
is,
biggest difference with mom
It really is.
Yeah.
is
She's present all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Sharp all
Right.
the time.
Yep.
Damn, y'all.
Tony, come on in.
It's so good
You're
to
up.
meet y'all. Y'all have a blessed week.
All right.
Yeah.
Hope to
Yeah.
see
Thank you,
hope to
Jordan.
see you.
Thank you, Ricky. Appreciate y'all very much.
Tell your mama said hi.
We'll do.
Tell your mama and them I say hi. So I'm looking forward to the shows because I haven't had it, but I've been hearing this one talk about it all week.
It's good.
Yeah, I picked up Joe's, but what I guess about 2 weeks ago, but right before I went to Washington.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's pretty much like a donut.
I know. That's what he told me. It's a big old donut.
Mm-hmm. Gotta love it.
yeah,
The only thing I find that works is Mucinex. The D.
That's what I have. That's what I'm taking.
8:39 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. It is time for Foodie Friday. All carnival season long, we've been celebrating king cakes with Foodie Friday, bringing in different folks from different bakeries around. And then, said, Brian, you got to sponsor the show who has the most over the top king cake display. We're talking about Matherine's at Kenilworth. So we got Tony Matherine in with us. How are you, man?
Doing well, Brian. Thanks for having me.
No, glad to have you in here. Let's talk a little bit about. We're going to talk king cake. We're going to talk to Matherine's king cake, obviously. talk about what y'all do and how y'all do it. But I want to talk about the overall display because y'all became very quickly the King Cake headquarters. A number of places have their own things, but y'all brought in like the all-star team as well.
That's correct. Yeah, we we do our own cakes in-house, but this year we wanted to try something new. We wanted to promote ours, but also bring in kind of make the Kenilworth store, since it's our most centrally located Baton Rouge store, kind of make it the King Cake headquarters.
Yeah.
So we brought in a bunch of other bakeries from from New Orleans, in addition to ours. So I mean, we've got Matherine's, Joe's, Haydell's, Kalutas, Nana Randazzo's,
Hubig's is in there. And I'm trying to. I feel like there's one more. I might be just confusing because it's y'all's too.
We got Antoine's.
This
week, yeah.
Marguerite's.
That's a new one.
K-Wood was in there.
K-Wood, correct.
Yeah. Gambino's is in there.
Gambino's, that's right.
But it's really like if you want just like
if you don't know which one you want, or you just want to try a couple, I mean, it's the place to go.
Absolutely. And the beautiful setup y'all got going on over there with the big alligator and everything, it is really beyond compare. When you talk about carnival season, like you're not just getting one King Cake all season long. No, you got the variety over here. You can go and try all of the best. I want to pick your brain a little bit about how did y'all come about this particular roster?
Well, we looked at what was kind of what was available really, and what sells the best in different markets. So we got with a couple third-party distributors, got a list of what everybody offered, and we kind of went through that list and just picked some.
Do we have numbers? Do we know who's Baton Rouge's favorites of all the roster? I know I probably should have told you that ahead of time so you can look it up.
I didn't look up the numbers, but I think right now the Randazzos and the Haydell's are probably the top two outside of Matherine's and the New Orleans market cakes.
The Joe's, so Joe's Cafe, I wasn't familiar with them until y'all brought them in, and I picked up one from the LSU store. Unbelievable.
Yeah, really good.
It's a donut king cake.
It's donuts.
Now
it's delicious.
If you're talking about traditional king cake, Haydell's is going to be my favorite all day long.
Yep. And that's the three I brought. I brought ours. The wedding.
Oh, you didn't just bring yours. No, you brought something that's
borderline the award-winning.
Tell me about it. Tell everybody about it.
So this is we use the traditional king cake log that we bake all of our king. It's a cinnamon style, and we add the wedding cake crumbles to it, white chocolate morsels, and then we roll it back up, stretch it, bake it, and then when it comes out, we stuff it with a buttercream cream cheese icing, and then there's white chocolate drizzled on top of the normal icing, and then some sliced almonds. It's delicious.
It is beyond compare. I've had it before, brought it home before. It was like it's so rich and so decadent. It takes a minute to get through the whole thing.
It does. I mean, it's not one where you can eat multiple pieces or just finish the cake in one day, but everybody who tries it loves it. It actually just won an award this week.
Really?
Last week over at the AG does a king cake crawl. It's just a contest where everybody brings in cakes and it's a taste test and everybody votes on the best one, and the wedding cake won first place.
So. Hey, how seriously do y'all take that within little inter-business rivalry and whatnot?
Man, it's always good,
Yeah,
it's always good to,
especially around king cake time though, because I mean, different people have different reputations.
I mean,
and whatnot.
king cakes, man, since 2019 has been going crazy. I think social media has a big thing to do with it. Everybody getting their cakes out there, and so I mean, ever since then, every year it's gotten crazier and crazier. So.
We got Tony Matherine in from Matherine's. Okay, so you talked a little bit about the process for the wedding cake, king cake. Let's just talk a little bit about what it takes to put together king cakes, what it takes to bake them, and the scale that y'all use.
Yeah, well, we got a good team at each store. Each location does their own, and it's just a pretty big production. Constantly, you gotta prep the cake, proof it, bake it, and then decorate it. So it takes a team.
And each store does their own. That's all right. I don't know why I was under the assumption that like it was centralized and farmed back out again, but that adds a little bit something to the the uniqueness.
Yeah,
very cool stuff.
Yep.
I know we want to talk king cakes as much as possible, but I would be remiss having you in here without talking about you got 3 locations of Matherine's here in Baton Rouge.
Yes.
The Kenilworth location is the headquarters. That's the home base, the mothership for the King Cakes. But I don't want to overlook the downtown location because we're getting around to parade time right here.
Yep.
The downtown location is 1 block off of the route. Talk to me a little bit about how much interaction you get from folks that are, I mean, parading and tailgating are the same thing.
Yeah. We've gotten pretty good at it over the years. The downtown store on Spanish Town Day is a destination.
Yeah.
Everybody, I mean, the crowd that walks through those doors that day, it's pretty unbelievable. We got all hands on deck. We've got everything that anybody needs. We've got, obviously we're bringing in all these King Cakes in addition to ours, but we've got, all the drinks and snacks and prepared food, everything you need.
I would imagine Spanish Town would be a good day to be overrun all day long. But I mean, Artemis and Orion.
Oh yeah,
it's no different right there. We've I've popped into the downtown Matherins while waiting on Orion before. Kids were getting a little bit hungry, so hey, I got the answer. Well, popped on over to Matherins, literally 1 block from the parade route. And if we're going to talk about other locations and step away from King Cakes for just a second, we are, as of today, we are 1 week away from the opening of LSU baseball season. Let's talk a little bit about the campus location and what y'all offer. Like, let's say you're tailgating for a baseball game. Y'all cater tailgates?
We do. We'll cater tailgates if needed. Most people they just pop in the store and grab quick bites. Something quick and easy to grab. Drinks, snacks, all that good stuff. So.
The full catering menu that y'all run out of the LSU location.
Yes, we do.
Very, very easy. Check it out at Matherins.com, or better yet, download the Matherins Rewards app to make sure that you can take advantage of everything they have to offer. What are some of the more, I don't know if you'd even know this, but I mean, is it baseball or softball? I mean, they're both right there.
So they both bring people over.
Yeah.
Softball, the field is closer to the store, so the proximity works a little bit in our favor there. But both of them, I mean, LSU softball, LSU baseball, huge followings. So.
Yeah. The Alec box is a little bit further away, but at the same time, though, the boxes can be packed all year long.
Yeah.
It's good to know this ahead of time. Although I probably would add this. Track might be an unsung hero here.
Track meet days or those weekends are pretty strong.
I would imagine
there's a lot of people in and out of the store.
Yeah. We got Tony Matherine in with us. We're coming up. We got about 2 minutes till we hit news. 2 minutes till we hit Your Money Now and a check of traffic. When we hit Your Money Now and a check of traffic, I'm going to try all 3 of these King Cakes. We talked about the wedding cake one from Matherins. At Joe's, is this just a standard, no filling?
Yes, this is the plain Joe's fried king cake.
Okay, plain Joe's fried king cake. And then what do we have from Haydell's?
Same thing from Haydell's. I brought the plain one.
Okay.
Just to kind of keep, just to show the difference between the 3, because this, like we said, this is traditional bakery style, donut style, and then ours.
When it comes to traditional, I don't know that anybody has ever done it better than Haydell's, which is why I was so impressed when I saw the roster of what y'all brought in.
Yeah.
Just to basically say, let's meet all palates here.
Yeah. That's the plan.
All right. Well, then I've got to ask you, do you have a favorite?
Outside of our wedding cake, that's my favorite, but these 3 are my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we went with Tony's favorites for today. It's 8:49 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. We are 1 minute away from Your Money Now. I need to take that minute to remind you about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. If you're making your travel plans, please give flybtr.com a look. When you are flying for business or for pleasure, either way, they're going to have you covered. Hit up flybtr.com, and when you do so, take into account the overall experience. If you got to drive down it, look, nothing sells BTR better than MSY. If you got to drive down to New Orleans, you know the hassle it is, you know the haul it is, you know the exorbitant parking rates, you know the massive humanity that is the TSA line down there. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. Stay home. Support a business in your backyard. Flybtr.com is the website. They've got the direct daily flight to DCA, the Reagan National Airport right there in Washington, D.C. They've got numerous other direct flights as well that may very well serve your particular travel needs. Going to Dallas, going to Houston, going to Charlotte, wherever it might be, going to Nashville. Hit up flybtr.com. All right, we got Your Money Now coming your way right now. If you're on air, we got a quick break coming up. If you're on Facebook Live, I'm about to gorge myself. All right, let me get a quick little plate. And Yeah. I keep disappearing. Oh, Breland, you want to turn the light on over there and show these off?
Yes.
Start with the wedding cake one.
Ooh, wedding cake.
Yeah. And I've had all three of them. Well, I haven't had the wedding cake from this king cake season, but
Ooh, wedding cake. Lord have mercy. Here. I'll put that back. Yep.
show up Joe's. Up next is Joe's.
Joe's. That's just crazy, y'all.
I cannot wait till we get
All right,
the
I'm gonna
camera
hand
up
this
on
one to
table.
you.
And this is the
And
one
this-
I'm going to start with.
Which one's this?
That's the Haydels.
Hey, Dales. I can see the chat lighting up. Zip recruiter.
Haydels, I swear, Haydels. There's something about their braiding. When Haydels does their braiding, the cinnamon lines don't show up in the cake. It's
Really?
different. Yeah, I don't understand it. It shows up on the top.
Hey, Dales.
This is Joe's. This is Haydels.
Okay.
It shows up on the top,
Love it.
but
I'm gonna try the
by the way, I'm
third.
about to taste test something I've already had like a million times over.
All right, let me see. Number third, y'all. Oh, damn. Oh, wow. I can see what you were saying. It's rich.
It's rich.
But it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Joes. Oh, shit. Brian?
The Joe's? Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a bakery in LaPlace, by a LaPlace store for years,
So,
called the Donut
on the
Hole.
West Bank. I say West Bank, but
Joe's. Yeah.
you know what it reminds me of? Because I grew up in Houma, Mr. Ronnie.
Mr. Ronnie's. Never had it.
Famous donut shop.
But there was one in LaPlace called Donut Hole, and Hurricane Ida, unfortunately, kind of wiped them out. But they had one very similar to this. Very good. That's Haydels. That's the more traditional style cake.
And it's not near heavy. It's not heavy.
Mm-mm.
The Joe's? Yeah.
Haydels.
No, the Haydels.
Oh.
It's kind of it's got that light, airy, fluffy.
Even being a donut, it's not heavy. It don't make you feel like garbage. Jamie, I was hoping you were going to come today so I can give you a hug. How's them babies? I say babies, but
They're not babies.
they're grown.
Yeah.
Jamie, I can't believe you have a grown child. I just can't believe that. Her son that just moved into his apartment, that's just crazy to me. I know Jamie because my kiddos used to go, well, one son, because the other two were at South Downs, but my one son was at the RCDPA. So
Okay.
that's how I met Jamie. Oh, all right. And then she's like, you know my brother. You work with my brother. I'm like, who's your brother? And then she goes, well, I'm a Haldane. I said, son of a bitch. I know. I said, yes, I know Brian.
Of course you know Brian.
You're right now.
Yep. Here.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll shot you. My bad.
Oh, wow.
We have one more king cake anyway, right?
No, Rocco's in next week.
I knew.
Oh, we're giving away? Yeah.
Yeah, one left. That's what I thought. Oh, and our man said he's going tomorrow to get it.
Brett?
Brett,
Okay.
yeah. He has to come into the town.
Okay.
We have people in here?
Jordan and Taylor are talking.
Oh, okay. I thought I was going crazy.
Oh my God, I'm gonna lose a foot.
Diabetes.
Wedding cake is so ridiculous.
I know.
Oh, I forgot how good that was. 8:56 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Got about 4 minutes left with Tony Matherine from Matherine's. We're breaking down King Cake Shawl. Up until now, it's been like individual bakeries doing their thing. Tony brought us the whole buffet over here, and we're getting fat and happy.
God bless, Tony.
I'm telling you. So he brought in Hadel's, brought in Joe's Cafe, and brought in Matherine's Wedding Cake, King Cake. Let me give you the breakdown on all three of these. Okay, first of all, Hadel's, you cannot go wrong. You cannot find better if you're looking for the traditional king cake. That is the old school. If you grew up in the New Orleans area, you want that old school Mackenzie's king cake. Hadel's is about as close as you're going to get to that. It is unbelievable. Light, not heavy on the cinnamon.
Yep.
The icing's a little more traditional with the sugar on top of the icing. It is awesome. It is exactly what the doctor ordered when it comes to the old school king cake. Now, Joe's similar, but now we're deep frying it. So when it comes to the Joe's Cafe one, what you're going to get out of that one, the flavor is going to change a little bit because of the way it was prepared, but it's still a lighter king cake, still not cinnamon heavy, and still you get the traditional sugar and icing on top. Now, Tony, the wedding cake king cake is just stupid.
Yeah.
It is, first of all, I didn't know cinnamon and almond paired that well.
Right.
Those two flavors together are ridiculous. You almost don't need the sweet cream that's in it.
Yeah.
But the sweet cream that's in it is such a clincher.
Yep. It puts it over the top.
Is this y'all's bestseller?
It's one of them. Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the top.
Well, it ought to be. I mean, I understand if there are traditionalists out there that don't like to go over the top with their king cake, but if you could break from tradition for just a minute, the wedding cake king cake is a thing to be absolutely revered. It's now the Kenilworth Matherine's is the headquarters, but you'll find them at all three, or
Yes,
okay,
yes. Yeah, all three have them.
all three have the wedding cake king cake to be sure. If you want that all-star roster for all the other ones, though, that's when you go back to Kenilworth. Now, as far as it comes to breaking down the carnival season, y'all are all the way through Mardi Gras Day.
Yes.
As far as bringing them in is concerned, I mean, we're not like cutting off when we get to the deep gras.
No, we'll have them.
Awesome. Very good stuff. And so just to give out specific locations, we got 1 minute left, so I don't want to miss this.
Okay.
Give us the exact addresses for all three. Start off with Kenilworth.
Right.
Oh, I mean, I don't need street address, but just the general.
Yeah. Highland, Kenilworth is located on Highland Road at the corner of Highland and Kenilworth Parkway. LSU's at 85 Gateway Center Lane, and that is right across from Tiger Stadium on Skip Burtman Drive.
Yep.
And downtown is 440 on 3rd. It's on the corner of 3rd Street, and it takes up the whole block, corner of 4th, 3rd, and Main.
3rd, 4th, and Main is, and you have entrances on both sides.
Both
the parking
sides.
lot side. The parking lot side is actually on the 4th Street side.
Correct.
Which that's the side that's closest to the route.
Yes.
If you're going during Mardi Gras.
Yes.
He's Tony Matherine, man. I appreciate you coming in today.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
Wins across the board with all three king cakes. All right, that's going to do it for us. Moon Griffon is next. We'll see you on Monday.
Right.
Sunday, women's basketball at 1, Super Bowl coverage at 4. We'll see y'all later.
I love how what an ending. Look behind y'all.
There we go.
There it
Jinx.
goes. What a way to end the show.
That's right.
Good job, sir.
Thank you, man.
Greatly appreciate
Yep,
it.
appreciate it.
Jamie, I say hi.
I will.
Yeah, the whole
I will do that.
pushing king cakes was part of it, but setting the table for baseball season.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And I every time I go in for if I'm working a baseball game, it's on a track weekend, you'll get more attractive than baseball. Yeah. So
Jordan Taylor, king cake.
Track is pretty wild. I'll leave these here for y'all, man.
Yeah.
Send it to everybody.
Sales
Whoever.
trickles down at about 9:15.
Pieces last night.
Yep.
That's hot.
King cake calories don't
you didn't have
count,
wedding
right?
cake.
Which one is that?
This one
That,
right here.
that one? Okay. When I saw the size of that, I was like, okay, I'll have that piece.
Yeah, y'all come and eat.
Get some.
Yeah,
My mom
and I don't know if
was
I've had
when I
this.
go
What was
out.
it? I've never had a third.
Well,
so
they're
this
here.
is good.
They're here in Baton Rouge.
Okay, great.
So-
So this is your place?
Yeah, Tony, this is
Great.
Jordan.
Hey, I'm Jordan.
Nice
to meet you.
Yep.
Wait, I have been to the thirds. It's like a high-end market. Yeah. Great wine selection.
Yeah,
all
y'all
that
have a
stuff.
good wine
Yeah, we
selection.
do.
Yeah. There was one right across from Pennington, right?
Yeah. So yeah,
You
so
still there?
That's the Highland one. So Pennington, take Kenilworth Parkway up to Highland Road. We're right there.
Yeah. I used to go eat lunch there all the time. Great
Right about
sandwiches.
Superior Grill. Same.
Great
same guy.
sandwiches. Great wine selection. So.
Oh, well, Jamie lucked out when we moved BRC BPA off of
Oh,
Acadian to the old
No, we're
Kenilworth
off.
Dam. It
Yeah,
moved.
it made it. He's stupid.
I know.
Because
That's
she was
legit.
chopping the work.
Yeah, it would have been a lot better.
Decadent.
Because it was when
That
you
ain't
were
even
running
king cake. That's like
construction.
something-
His marketing director.
Completely different. It was like a berry chantilly
School
mixed with
my
a
little-
king
like
cake.
we met.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then
It's rich.
now
It's
that's
that's that chantilly
that's
cream.
what
Like
It's like
yeah.
it's a cream cheese, better cream. Is what it's-
Yeah.
that's what it's
Yeah.
called.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's rich, man. But
Mm.
you know, one slice will do.
Oh, no, I was like, yes, I know, Brian.
It's good.
Are we off?
I know.
Hey, are we off on Facebook? We are.
No, you want me to go off?
Yeah. Basically, me saying goodbye was